Oh my god, this isn't the right scene either. Hello, we are back. Is this it? Okay, professional setup. Hello.
I hope that works.
It's only session 50 something. You know, how am I 5? I don't know why that didn't change. I have it all automated. This is BS. I want to start again. Go back in. We're going into theme. That's it. I'm going back into theme song. That's it. We're going back in. Actions.
No, let it play now.
Okay, no, it's too late. I'm back. I'm back. Hello. I rage baited. Thank you for joining us. Hello, welcome to the Wandering Isles. My name is Ken. I am your dungeon master for this evening, and I will rage bait this party into oblivion. Tonight we have a full house. We've got Ryan playing a Madriana. We've got Kian playing Dash. We've got Rory playing Eos. We've got Busy playing Hatsu. We've got Richard playing Slate. We've got John playing Weslyn. We've got Kyle playing Eldrin. Whew. It's getting longer and longer. That is not what she said.
Ken playing the voice in the sky.
It's me. I am the voice in the sky. Rhino, I believe you are on the recap. I need you to please just take it away, sir.
Hello there. Back again, are we? Time to say hello. First and foremost, let me say welcome to Dungeons and Daddy Issues. Wait, what? Dungeons and Dragons? That didn't make any fucking sense. All right, fucking welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. How are you doing? So we're back in with these bunch of reprobates, and let me give you a bit of a recap. So, Daddy issue number 1, Madriana, seems she stole this book of this guy. The other one, you know, the one that can change his shape, the one with the spider sense. Anyway, what do you mean that's copyrighted? How is spider sense copyrighted? Who the fuck has said that before? All right, fuck. Listen, you listen to that guy. Don't listen to him. His ooziness, his gelatinousness. I tell you what, we call it his gooseballs. Anyway, his gooseballs were tingling, and apparently that meant that he was able to find his book because she was sitting on it in the sand. Kind of stupid, right? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he's after her book or his book or their book or the book that's evil. Anyway, that's another thing. Anyway, then we got Daddy issue number 2. Actually, no, we won't come to Dash just right now. We go to Daddy issue number 3, which is Eos. So they put in this thing in the wall, this magical thing opened up, the evil book led them in, and now they're in this weird fucking place where there's about to be some tentacle that eats everyone. You know, kind of standard for this kind of thing, but they did manage to find Daddy Eos, and let's just say he's not quite what they thought he was. Well, at least that's what we gathered by the end of it. You should have watched it if you don't know this by now anyway, but there we go. Go back and watch it on YouTube. Anyways, Daddy issue number 2, Dash, is hoping this kind of goes fucked up because he's just stood at the door looking at this man that could send him to Scorchwood, which means that he might be able to go and find his daddy. The one that's running the place, you know, secretly. Or, you know, maybe one of the really bad guys. Or it could be just that it's Slate that's his dad, you know. We all think it's Slab that it's his dad, but, you know, I guess we'll have to wait and see how it goes throughout the rest of the campaign.
You just call some dad.
Meanwhile, during all of that as well, Eos and Weslyn had this wonderful conversation where Weslyn was trying to contact Remington. Didn't quite work, but we'll see how that progresses because that might be a way for them to get back in there. Other than that, Aldrin was just being Aldrin. Hatsu was kissing Eos. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. It was quite a nice kiss, you know. They seem to like each other, so that's fair. And yeah, we're back on the boat, and now I'll hand you back to our resident cuck master, which is Roper.
I got nothing, man. That was fun. Just take the inspiration. That was fantastic. Holy shit, that was great. I love that.
So good, I would give everyone inspiration.
It was so good that I'll give Ryan inspiration. Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, we're on the ship. I mean, the body of all good recaps is to tell you to just go watch the previous episode. I love that so much.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, let's.
You know, sir, as well to the cuck master thing, it's because of a video I saw, and actually Roy sent it to me just today as well, of trying to explain D&D to a goth.
Yeah, my cousin sent it to me too.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Don't think I've seen that one, have I?
We'll hook you up, Buttercup.
Do.
But this
Hook
is
me
a
up, Daddy.
time for tension. I believe we're joining you guys on the ship at the moment. We're going to be splitting the party, right? Well, we're now joining you on the ship. So with that in mind, I have removed any distractions, and by that mean players who are not involved in the ship for the time being.
While Eos is climbing the window, she uses a action to transform into human self.
Cool.
Gill-less.
Gill-less?
Oh, old Gil from The Simpsons just sneaks down out the window again.
So the man mysterious, who I don't know if I ever named him or not publicly, that Dash recognizes, glances towards the door. He looks across. And then he just glances back towards Commander Riker. Turns and disembarks the ship.
Did he see Dash?
Make a perception check.
Oh, good. My favorite things, like the amount of times I've had to make a perception check. You think I'd have put some effort into perception for this character, but here we are. We'll take an 18 though.
18 is good. There is a behind the scenes thing, but I'm never on Beyond the Isles enough to say this, but every time Dash is leveling up, Kian is like, that's it, I'm fucking fixing this perception shit. I'm sick of this shit. And then he goes through all this stuff and I'm like, are you sure you don't want to do something else? And he's like, maybe I do want to do something else. And then we just send it back here again.
Fuck me out of it every time.
Yeah, 18 is good. You think he saw something, whether or not it was you. You're not sure, but he is a very perceptive gentleman, so it would be odd if he didn't. However, you are also a human glancing through a door, so it's less suspicious. Because basically your head was sticking out, and the white shoulder maybe of your jacket, which means absolutely nothing.
Well, leather armor, so.
Oh, in that case, he turns around, he pulls out a gun. Yeah.
Oh no.
So, what would you like to do?
So, knowing that he is disembarked now, then what I would do is step out of the doorway towards Commander Riker and just kind of stand there. I suppose I assume he had kind of turned to see this chap off and wait for him to turn and meet my eye.
He turns around. It's a completely different human. You're on the wrong ship. No, he turns around.
Not
He
again.
notices you and gestures for you to get the fuck back in, and then walks towards you.
Did he just walk off? Yes.
No, he's standing, like he's out of the door, but like he's turned like this, so you can see him in the door.
This is not a one-man show.
And I'll just kind of like start moving back in, but as he's coming back in, I'll be like, what did he mean by redemption?
Are you talking to yourself again, Dash?
Oh, your dad's here.
Yeah, we came to
Just
see
walking
him
before him.
because of her, not because of you.
I know he's coming.
Huh.
I just kind of.
I don't get your excitement. What did you see?
You saw my dad coming, apparently.
I just like.
Oh, that way. Okay.
You two, wait, Commander. There, yes, they're in here.
Yeah, but
He just
wait.
continues standing slightly outside the frame.
Yeah, I'll. So I'll kind of walk into the room ahead of them while asking my question.
He walks in, and he closes the door and sort of locks it. Eos, it's good to see you.
Dad,
He gives you a warm hug.
thank you. Water's cold.
Oh, I was like, why are you thanking him for the hug? Those are obligatory. Yes. Here. And he opens one of the crates and it's filled with warm, fluffy navy towels.
Oh yeah. You'll start drying yourself off. So, it's a bit of a situation. There's this guy. His name is Ardon? Arkansas? What's his name, Matsu?
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know who you mean either.
Natoshi. Tall man.
The tall man?
Oh, do you mean the Archon?
The Archon?
Even I didn't follow. I was like, I invented the dude. Right, actually, maybe didn't.
I don't know why you relate to this. That's not why we're here, I guess.
We'd get my dad up to speed.
Huh.
So,
So, all the time in college.
yeah. Anyway, the Archon arrived at Saganatoshi. He had this whole thing about trying to kill everyone, and he has the guy who tried to kill me. And there's also a situation where the robots from the Omegaverse started helping people, but then Saganatoshi was taken out. And the Archon took Master Remington back to the college to go find something. Anyway,
Artifact.
the world's kind of ending, and we need your help.
I have a lot of questions.
How to
Me
might have
too.
answers.
Who's the Archon? Who's Remington? What did they do to Saganatoshi? What is a robot? And why is the world
Great
ending?
question.
And how did they
Maybe
get to
we
a
should
college?
start.
And also which college?
Oh yeah.
Maybe we should start why we're here. That's the main issue, I think. As we try to visit Eos's home, we became friends due to scholarship at a place that you don't know yet. We discovered something in your cellar that turned out to be of certain properties, which created a portal that led us to the entrance of this facility. That's why we're here, actually. And we don't know how to get back.
A portal like in the stories?
Pretty much.
Yeah. The staff that was spinning around on the ceiling in the Undercroft apparently can tear through time and space.
It opened a hole in the air, and we stepped through it, and now we're here.
This isn't really the time and place for pranks. Is this one of your pranks, Eos?
No, just no. I wish.
If you're telling the truth, I believe you.
Mhm.
So the staff brought you here?
Yeah.
Is
It somehow
possibly
read.
one of- Go ahead.
It kind of read my mind. I just put it on the ground and put the crescent moon towards space, and it just decided, yeah, here you go.
It's possibly one of the worst places to bring you.
Ah,
Besides
here,
maybe
here.
a jail or the crisis response unit itself. And ominously, one of the worst days to do it. A lot of the crisis response unit are here today.
Oh,
Including Ilvek, I see.
You're familiar.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I guess you Palparothians know each other.
Not on a personal level, but his reputation kind of simmers.
So you also, with all due to respect, have no clue how we could get back, because we thought it would be an installation that you might have used.
I keep calling him Commander Riker. He's actually Commander Frakes. My bad. But Riker. I don't really know how you got here or how that contraption would bring you back. Is it fueled on some sort of energy or something?
I'm suspicious that there's something in the cellar that might fuel it, but I guess we have to figure that out.
Can I roll an insight check and see if is he trying to hide his knowledge of this?
Yeah, you can roll an insight check.
Oh, that's a nat 1. I don't know shit.
Super honest, man. Very honest. Just surprisingly honest. Like you've never met a more honest man.
Oof, I haven't done that one in a while. Fair enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, he doesn't really know how you got here, let alone how to send you back without some sort of boat. We don't really have many of those to offer.
Commander, could I ask, are you familiar with the person that Eos referenced named Drell?
Drell who? Is that the name you used to say in your sleep?
Okay, yeah, actually, yeah. That was the guy who hung me in mission.
Oh.
Yeah. Creepy.
He referenced here.
You met him?
He was next to the Archon.
But he referenced being here as what was the description Slate used? Good killing grounds.
We have had an unusual amount of people going missing lately. You think they're being slaughtered by this man? These are trained military professionals. One man couldn't possibly take him down.
He's not a man.
See, yeah, and he's not just one. He's a creature of magic as well.
He is a race threat.
He
definitely
make it short.
He has this thing
You call it projection magic?
He can summon another one of himself. He can echo.
Yeah, so an odd entity to be, claiming to be very familiar with this area. I thought it would have stood out to you, potentially.
This has been a taxing day. 2 raised threats. One from my past and one from yours.
Yeah.
Which is the one from your past? I assume that's what Ilveg was discussing with you in the corridor. My apologies, I did eavesdrop.
It's private military secrets, confidential missions.
We have taken out a raised threat already, if that makes any difference.
One moment, Dash. Dad, is it a giant sea serpent? Scary, scaly.
He places his hand on your shoulder. Eos, where did you read this?
I didn't read
private
it.
information. How did you see it?
In my dreams. I've had dreams for many weeks now. I walk on board a ship at sea. To my left is more recently one of my greatest friends, and there it is. 12, maybe 14 feet tall. A being of horrors.
You know part of my story is that I had to retire in 1525, 1526. Because I was injured in the line of duty. We were searching for this. We had heard reports of this creature, so the Chimera Squadron, my squadron, went in search of this creature. It came out of nowhere. It rained down upon the ship, shattering it. And when it happened, and the waves finally washed us ashore, I was grievously injured. The people who found me dragged me to a medical facility where they tried to heal me, but I still have, and he taps his leg, my limp, and I still require this cane. I was brought back because of my experience in this matter, but I didn't realize it until just moments ago. Someone has seen it again. This is my opportunity to right something that went wrong. Why are you writing this down? This is a secret. This is top secret. I just looked at Dash. Sorry, he was just taking notes. I'm just giving him shit. Sorry.
Oh my god, Riker's so powerful, he breaks the fourth wall.
Breaks the fifth wall. Yeah. After that, I moved to Azazaki, and that's when I met Rain, and I adopted Eos, took her on as my own.
Eos grins.
And I did what every responsible father does. I gave my daughter a sword.
This helps so much, you've no idea.
It's mostly ornamental. I can't imagine it being overly sharp use.
Feels good to have it.
Might I ask, is the wrong that you have to make up for your failure to deal with it in the first place?
Several ships have been taken down according to reports by this creature. It is why the crisis response unit have gotten involved. However, they still have to lean on our expertise as they do not have required training for such a mission or such a race threat. But this is one of the longer lasting ones, yeah.
If you're going in pursuit, would you be bringing CRU agents with you?
Of course.
Well, what is the relationship from your unit to the crisis response unit? Aren't you independent?
Sort of. They are responsible for taking out race threats. That is their territory, and when those paths cross, they usually take over for us. We support them in those endeavors, but in this case, they need to support us. They don't have a naval fleet to lean on.
That's sad.
I mean, we do have experience in dealing with race threats. If I would say I would offer my services, but I couldn't speak for the others, particularly if CRU are involved. That would be a danger too.
Respectfully, I would want Eos as far away as possible from this mission. I'm sure you've handled something, but you have not handled something like this.
That's true. This thing is horrifying, Dash.
Nothing like this.
Yeah. Dash almost died as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can see the injury on his finger. He seems quite weak.
That was a writing injury.
A writing injury.
Well, you ask about what happened to Saiga no Toshi. It's not the same place that it was before. As your daughter already mentioned, there's forces in the background that did corrupt the place. And even when it seems like normal business, it's not. It's controlled, it's polluted, it's desecrated. And there's forces working in the background that even corrupted the king.
And those puppet strings are quite tightly around the Sun King.
So my hope is that your units are independent enough to be there for the people when they're in the time of need.
He moves closer to Eos and he's just like, your new friends are quite conspiracy theorists?
No, it's happened. How to speak the truth?
Right. And he steps back. Well, if what you say is true, then I would start by notifying the authorities.
Who is your authority?
Well, if you have an issue with Saiga no Toshi, maybe take it up with your elders there, I suppose. If it goes beyond that, then I guess
you can't speak with the dead. I can't.
The structures of justice are just another puppet string at the moment, I'm afraid.
I didn't hear of any death in Saiga no Toshi or anything. The news hasn't come this far, I suppose. When was this?
My father is either dead or captured, one or the other. We didn't have time to find that out yet.
It's only been a couple of days since we were there.
Who is your father? Is he? Who's Hatsu's father?
Who's my
Mr.
daddy?
Toshitsugu.
Mr.
Hashirama.
Toshitsugu.
Yeah.
His name is Toshitsugu Hashirama.
I hate when that happens. Like,
Yeah,
so you've been
I-
looking
yeah,
at all the
I-
time.
my-
like,
That was entirely
My window
because
was
I asked
reloading.
Missy. Yeah, no, it was entirely just because I asked you. It's okay. The pressure
Normally,
was
I
on.
know.
I know, because we have
If
conversations
you
about
wouldn't,
this. I know.
if you wouldn't have said anything, it would have been
Just
like
organic.
a deep thought from Hatsu. So next time, don't fuck it up.
Don't ask. Okay, got it. Definitely my fault.
Who is your daddy? What does he do?
Thank you, Richard. Yeah. He's quite well known. And you believe something's happened to him. I'm very sorry to hear that.
I was there when it happened.
He pulls a chair over and he turns it backwards and he puts one leg over it and just sits down and puts his arms on top and he looks towards you. For some reason. Well, if it's true and if he has fallen, I'm very sorry to hear that. Losing a parent can be difficult. I'm a little confused about the expectations of this conversation, so perhaps we jump to that.
Yeah.
I hope that I can believe that there's people that care for people. And I hope you can help us and your daughter here to get back safe.
It was a weird accident, but wonderful that we're even here. It's kind of crazy. But we need a foundation. We're looking for a piece of land, maybe something coastal, something with access, because Remington gave us a way to start a home for ourselves. A bastion of a kind. But we don't know where.
You're looking for property to build a home.
We
don't even
might
need
not need planning
property.
permission. We'll apply for retention.
Owners Association? Yeah.
oh no, I hate those guys.
So tell me more. What is it you're looking for? And do you have a map of some kind or something I can use to...
Dash you the books.
Bring those with me, they'll get wet. But we're on a ship, I
Oh.
presume there's a naval map.
Yeah, we're in a closet. Dash.
Or a map is in the backpack, I think. I don't have it with me.
We considered Gatai, but then we suddenly found ourselves here, so... I mean, we could always go to Palperoth.
There's a pyramid. We're thinking about the pyramid.
Badlands,
You're jumping
not a good
around a
idea.
lot. Neither of those things are a good idea.
No.
Not the pyramid, Dad? Come on.
Kikird is a terrible place of pure evil.
Death?
And your mom haven't heard from you Eos since
I know.
how long?
Don't even,
Yes.
Hatsu.
She only sees Ducky home, so we should
Oh.
get back.
I know.
Yes. Commander, have you heard from Rain?
Only in our letters, back and forth.
Did she give any signs of distress? Eos, I don't want to speak for you, but you should probably give him the entire story from Azazaki.
I will, when we have time.
I think now is the time.
Okay. Eos gives the whole rundown from
love
the
Eos
moment
so
she left
much.
the house.
Exposition dump.
From the moment she left the house on Ducky with Remington, the whole Arcanum, everything, like 20 minutes goes by. And then opened the portal, and we're here.
Right. So
Magic and
his
might,
whole eyes
arcanum.
disappeared? Really? Like they weren't there?
It was the badger. He ate the badger's blood.
Yeah, we don't really do that around here. If we kill a badger, usually an accident or target practice sometimes,
Maybe.
but I'm not fond of that so much. Yeah, that was a lot to take in.
Like a year's worth of a story in 20 minutes.
Werewolves was unexpected twist, but
Hartwell's nice place. Roll's a
Anyway.
nice guy. Lovely cat.
yeah. Yeah, you mentioned the cat in excellent detail. I feel like I was there.
Good.
So, okay. Went to Saigonatoshi. It was the New Year's festival. It all went to shit. And then...
It did.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Here we have a term for that. Fubar. You
Fucked up
probably...
beyond all recognition.
Close enough. I'm not really sure what your best course of action is. If what you say is true, then even if the king is corrupt, surely that means...
I wouldn't worry about the king.
I would.
Maybe corrupt is a hard word, but he's frightened to death.
But then who can you turn to besides the Archon? If he truly is the source of all of this power, wouldn't he be the one person to wield it?
I don't know, like...
Let's say he wants to cleanse the world in his favor.
We don't trust the Simil Decker guy either. He's a creep.
Simul has done a lot for the military.
He's a weirdo.
He made this ship.
What? God damn it.
You can do a lot of good to hide a lot of bad.
I am quite indifferent. I know nothing of that. All I know is that his astrological center out in the Badlands has been doing quite well for us.
Astrological?
They have taken to the stars.
Why is he looking at the
towards
stars then?
I'm not sure. Some sort of life endeavor, perhaps. They've been working with us for mostly experimentation, engine information, things like that. That's how our ships go so fast.
Do you have a body floating in liquid on this ship?
No, last I
Bathtub?
checked. I know every inch of this ship, and there's definitely 12 bathtubs, but no vat of human.
I think to answer your question, who do you turn to? You kind of have to go to family in these situations, and that's, I guess, why we went to Azazaki so Eos could reconnect with hers. I found you, so we're half,
do well.
1/3 of the way there.
Nice surprise.
So we expected to see rain, but no sign.
Yeah. She's around.
She wouldn't be here.
No.
I mean,
Commander, could I ask a highly personal question? Apologies if it's insensitive and you can decline to answer, but a man of your standing in the military, from my experience, I would expect to, well, run from someone like Eos, and yet here you've adopted her. That's incredibly noble. But how does one walk that path from where you began?
My mom's a very influential person in Dash.
I don't doubt it.
I was introduced to Eos when she was quite young. She was frightened of everybody. I don't know about you, but personally, I can't turn my back on a child who is scared, frightened, and needs some support. Even if things had not worked out for myself and Rain, I would have supported her for my entire life. She is nothing short of a remarkable, miraculous person, and truly, I think that she has the potential to bridge the gap between humans and non-humans to make it all one. She's also filled with a frightening amount of rage, and without the right leadership or guidance, that could become a problem. And with all due respect, I understand that I'm speaking about you as if you were not here, but it's important for
That's
you
okay.
to hear this as well, yes.
Thanks. You
I
looks
think-
awkwardly into the corner.
Every one of us in our group have thought much along the lines as you have, Commander.
This place doesn't really look too kindly upon people like Eos. There is a public jail cell in the, not public, but to us public, in the middle of this facility with a poor young woman who has been captured for the way that she looks. And this is something that doesn't sit well with me. These kind of things bother me, and the treatment bothers me. But at the same time, you need to know who to raise your voice to, and when. If you go mouthing off at every single person you meet, or you just refuse to follow the correct procedures in these cases, you are just digging your own grave rather than doing something good. My position here affords me certain abilities and capabilities. Could I still keep Eos out of prison right now? No, absolutely not. What I can do is keep working my way up higher and higher so that I can then influence the people who make these decisions. So that one day, my daughter knows what it's like to walk down the street without guards following her, or without someone hurling a bottle at her head. There is a better life for people like Eos in this land, and I will work my way to the top until I get there. I had to take a long time to heal, enough to just be here today, and the fact that I was even called back is quite miraculous. So I will board this ship with my fleet, and I will take out that serpent. I will come back. I will be awarded an amazing promotion for it, and I will use that power to protect people like my daughter.
Sir, you have impressed me massively. And if I might, I'll take out the cipher that I've made, and I'll hand it over to him. If you need to communicate with us, I've made this to communicate discreetly with my family and mentor in Palparoth. Personally, I think myself and Hatsu had discussed briefly kind of establishing a guild of sorts of like-minded people.
Alliance.
An alliance. So I think it would be useful to
With all
keep in
due
touch.
respect, Dash, this is 18 pages front and back.
It's it's one page with a list of birds and numbers.
18 pages. Front and back.
We were on a break. Yeah, then Dash would just shake his hand, or offer to shake his hand at least.
Yeah, he shakes your hand. Of course he does. His glove is quite nice feeling. You just take note of that. The texture is very, very nice. But the shake is firm. As you're about to pull away, he pulls your hand in. You will keep my daughter safe, right? 'Cause so far from that story, I've heard that she's gone up against werewolves, raised threats, and quite frankly, a myriad of things that she shouldn't have seen, including Drow. And
He might not, but I will give my life for her.
As
You
would I.
all stop offering up your lives for me. I can take care of myself.
I was going to say she's protected us in many cases, but I think our little alliance are all more than willing to do what it takes to save each other. I'll speak for myself anyway.
As you've your own things happening. Dad, what advice would you give to a soon-to-be father?
I think he already gave it to me. The path he's walking for you, I am determined to walk the same for my children.
just be
Gonna hop
prepared
in a boat and
to
kill monsters?
just
if
be
I need to.
prepared that when you look upon that child, your entire universe will change. Not one fragment of it will be the same, and the things that you would go through, the lengths that you would reach to protect them, to teach them, to educate them, to give them a good life are boundless. You are going to become a better man, not because you want to, but because you have to. And any remnants of childish behavior within you will very quickly change. You will become more mature, more responsible, and you will hardly recognize yourself by the end of it.
I believe you're correct. You mentioned someone that's locked up here purely based on how she looks. There is a little devil on my shoulder telling me we should do something about that.
I do not believe you could get in, extract her, and not get caught. And if you were caught on this facility with or without that motivation, you would be sent away for more lifetimes than you care to admit. You would never see that kid of yours.
Do you know the person that's locked away?
Not personally, but I've brought her food many times. For the most part, she's not being harmed. People throw things at her, and it's quite a stupid display of ignorance. I don't know what she did before she came here. She doesn't speak.
Can you describe her? What does she look like?
Her skin is quite feathered in places, which I believe is what brings her to this place. In a certain sense, she looks like a warped version of what angels might be in the stories. It's unusual, for sure.
Okay.
Yes. Could you get a message to him, Adriano? With that description?
Here. Perhaps, yeah.
I think Albie might be able to scout.
Are we far away from a place called Domglor?
Never heard of it.
Scorchwood vicinity. If I'm remembering right. Between Desolata and Arbor is on the sea at some point, a small island.
The place apparently has somewhat a safe haven for people like me and the woman who's captured.
I wouldn't trust those stories as much, just in case they're a trap. These are the kind of things that people like the Crisis Response Unit would do to lure people like you in, yes.
Good point. She walked over to Riker and gives him a big squeeze, long enough that some of his scent is on her, and then she gives him a kiss on the cheek and says, "Thank you. You stay safe."
I guess we're going the long way home then.
Did you send a message to someone?
Oh, yeah. Or potentially too far away, question mark.
500 feet exact.
Oh yeah, we're definitely too far away.
Hatsu would get his head out the window that they climbed in, and he would look out for Albie.
Albie is circling above.
He would make like hand gestures to make him know that there's something up.
Albie will come down towards you, and at that moment I'm going to flick over to the other party, go back about 10 minutes and see what they're doing. Gentlemen, the time is just as Eos and Dash and Hatsu swim away, so you have like 10-15 minutes. What would you like to do?
I want to try and I'm gonna like do this as quietly and as hidden as possible, but I want to basically try and get somewhere high enough that I can see above the walls, and she's basically gonna start like, you know, like the way you like a metronome, just tapping her foot to a certain beat. so that she can work out, okay, this light moves now. This light moves now. And like basically get it to the pinpoint of knowing which guards are going where, what time they're running around, what time the lights change, everything. Because as this is a military place, she imagines that the everything is done to an exacting schedule.
Yeah. Any semblance of lights and movement, you can almost track the patrols. And as a patrol leaves where the ship would be, and they move down the dock and a little further away, another patrol is approaching, and you have pretty high perception, so I'll say that you do see someone scaling the ship in leather. It looks like Dash, so you can see that they're kind of at that point now where they're boarding the ship, at least, as you use some time to climb.
That's basically what I want to use my time for, is to calculate movements, guards, lighting. Basically, I'm trying to find all the blind spots.
Shocking lack of blind spots. That's more... I'll say let's make an investigation check.
So it's an 18 roll for 24 total.
So in terms of blind spots, their blind spot doesn't come from like a specific one location where, for example, they're not watching, because they really have a great overview of this place. This is a very well guarded and defended space. Their blind spots probably come from things like the rotations, like what you're seeing with like where they are approaching.
Yeah,
they
that's
seem
what I meant.
to
It's
be
like
sequential. Roughly every like few minutes, you might have a 30-second window or so. The further in you go, the much harder that gets. Like there is pretty much eyes all over the inside of those walls. It's the exterior that you kind of have more leniency with. But even then, the guard towers on top, they are very random. They don't seem to be anything more than a human pattern. So like the natural human pattern that someone might have, like to look this way and then look this way, and they're using this kind of like, it looks like a focused light, like a spotlight, but they're using some sort of like, it seems to be an amalgamated oil lantern with a magnifying glass kind of component that's shining flickering light down. So it's like it still has the flicker of flame. This isn't running on electricity or energy or anything like that. It is definitely a natural component that was made. It looks like a mystical thing of artifice rather than energetic thing of Simule, for example. But yeah, like I said, the walls you would find more leniency. Anything within those walls is extraordinarily difficult.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. Essentially, Batman, like working out the patterns of the guards and that kind of thing. So that's fine.
Slate would have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Slate would have walked up and caught up to Adriana, who had a head start from what he was doing, walked up with the others, and will have his back to the ship and the shore, not paying any attention to what the others are doing, effectively standing a foot in front of Adriana, just slightly to the side, looking directly at Adriana while she's doing all this surveying and, you know, just standing silently for quite a long time. And then I would turn to Adriana and say, "You have something of mine."
I have something that was yours.
You also lied to me.
Yes.
And this is how it's to be?
You won't realize it now, but at some point you will thank me for this. I'll take whatever you have to give me until that point, but it will come.
So taking something from a friend and lying about it is okay. And that's how you want to do this.
Taking something from a friend that is causing them distress and pain. Yeah, I would consider that okay.
Before I met you, my life was a lot of distress and pain. Since I've got the book, I've learned more about myself than I have in apparently a very long time, since I've learned I'm older than I thought I was. We've all gained from Vatros. Each one of us have learned things about our past, our present, our future. So far, the book has done nothing but give to us, and to me particularly. What right have you to take it from me?
Think about that again, exactly as you worded it. All it's done so far is given. You are a person of this world, Slate. You understand, nothing is given freely. So you might not have paid the price now, but you will.
That it's my price to choose to pay. Who are you to decide for me? My life is my own.
And
my path my own.
What if your price costs everyone here? Is it really just your price to pay then?
What issue has it caused anyone else thus far?
Thus far, nothing. Other than the fact that it helped open to a portal to a different fucking place and brought back someone from the dead, apparently.
Again, thus far, all things we wanted, needed. It's what Eos needed. We all missed Weslyn. So far, all for the greater good thus far.
That's the problem, isn't it? Thus far. If you truly want this, I'll give it back, of course. But mark my words, that day will come when you regret the fact that you didn't leave it with me. And when that day comes, I hope it isn't too far.
The book is more important to me than you'll ever know. He just puts his hand out.
I'll take the book out. I'll put it in his hand. It's good to know where your priorities are.
I've never lied to you. Never lied about the book. I brought it to Eos. I showed it to her. Each of you have been inside the book, met with Vatros. But what you have done to me has crossed the line. What you did was secret, deceptive.
I don't regret my doing. My only regret is that you found out at all.
Much like you said to me, remember this day and hope that you don't look back with regret. And I'm going to turn and walk away.
The book feels unnervingly cold. Very, very cold. Weslyn, what are you doing?
Weslyn is having a nap. Having a nice lay back in the sand. Everything is as it must be. Just a matter of time.
While he's relaxing, lost in trance and non-focus, where is he? What does he see?
What do you mean?
His eyes close, his mind wanders. But with that, Weslyn wanders too. I want to know where he wanders.
The most recent place that he can think of, the only thing that really dominates his thoughts is 1,000 years of winter. The only changes in recent times has been a sudden flood of images of places. A shack has appeared twice. A treehouse in clear violation of HOA regulations has appeared twice. Some very strange looking building, a mountain. They are on his mind, but they, much like any dream, can be deceiving. Echoes of a recurring dream, permutations of something familiar that jamais vu, something that you're supposed to recognize but you don't. That opposite end of deja vu. He wants to go to those places, but he doesn't trust them yet. They're not anchored enough. They're not enough points of contact to give them gravity. So mostly it is 1,000 years of winter. The birch forests that he ran through, the patterns in the sky that led to that place underground with the books and the people who had a lot of things to say, but a lot of it is a bit confusing. Again, jamais vu.
As you wander through the dreams, you stand above the clouds and suddenly there's this beautiful building in front of you. A man dressed in blue just sort of walks past and he's like, "Who are you?" And suddenly you're no longer there. You're standing on a beach. The sounds around you still sound like where you were. The heat on your skin still feels like where you were, but when you look at it, it should be different. You remember it different. You walk through these marble hallways. It's a beautiful building, like stunning. It is not anything you've ever really seen before. Yet at the same time, it feels like somewhere you could have lived 100 years. You walk forward and you look in the empty, what looks like a large eating hall. Many tables. It's very dim. There's nothing here. There's no signs of life. There's no voices. You then walk down a corridor and look up a stairs that feels like this is where you want to go, but instead you move forward. And as you do, you approach what looks to be a very magnificent office. You walk inside and find sitting there a robed gentleman with purple skin, horns back, white hair slicked, Weslyn, what brings you to my dream?
What?
You're not the Weslyn that I knew. Interesting.
Is this an image that matches the image?
Yeah.
From Toshizogu Hatsu?
Yes, it is. This is the visage and image of Remington Maleficum.
What?
You're new.
New is a relative term.
Very true.
You are the one known as Remington?
I am.
Are you alive?
Last I checked. But life is also relative.
There are others who believe that you are distressed. In distress? How is that normally said? Distressed or in distress? It means the same, I think.
I feel rather normal today. Not distressed, just locked away. A
Locked
victim of
away
my own
here?
success, as it were. Yes, but thankfully I got to choose the location, so it's not all that.
Can't be too terribly locked away if I'm here.
I'm not sure how you got in, to be honest with you, but it is good to see you. I'm glad you're among us again.
This is a dream. Yes?
Sort of. It's more like stasis.
Stasis. What does that mean?
Well, it appears that I was becoming troublesome and I got put in a device of my own creation, a seal, as it were. And I am at peace, I'm resting, but I am, yes, I'm quite stuck here at the moment. Not forever, these things wear off in time, but...
Do you mean by device of your own making?
Well, I made this entire contraption. This is an earlier model, however. A prototype based on a spell that my ancestors used to use.
And this is what it looks like?
To me, if you were in here, it might look like something else. Your favorite dream, perhaps. I believe a few of your party have used it. Have you found them, by the way? They're looking for you.
I am with some people.
Have they been good to you?
There has not been much time for much of anything. We have found ourselves on an island. It is different than where we were. There is a fortress and ships, and they are on edge. The one who calls herself Eos tore a hole in the world.
So you have found her. The hole in the world is new. How did she do this?
There was a long stick with a moon on it, and a book and a symbol.
With a crescent moon or a full moon?
It's a crescent moon, but I can't tell you if it was waxing or waning, or which moon it was.
All right. That does sound like the Scepter of the Turning Stars. It's believed to have been made by... made from the Tree of the Gods themselves. It's quite an impressive artifact. I would be interested to see this someday. Your mind wanders. Why did you come here? What are you looking for, Weslyn?
I don't know. I was going to look for you. I suppose I found you now.
Is there something troubling you?
Is the shack still there?
I believe so. I don't know why they would have removed it.
When you escape, will you destroy it?
I would rather not. I was quite fond of it. Excellent space to brew tea.
The shack in the woods.
Yes. It's very isolated. Teachers don't look for you there. When you need a bit of space, sometimes it's a good place to get some air. If you ever do it in the shape of a bird, if you ever get that opportunity, I would take it. It's quite nice. Although, not around Dash. He'll try and draw you.
What is this seal? What does it look like?
He sort of wisps up a little cloud, and as he does, he just stops moving his hand, and it takes the form of an archaic, older version of what you've already seen in, I believe, in Eos's hand, possibly. She used it on Ducky, but I'm not sure if you were there for that.
I didn't see the one with Ducky.
If you haven't seen it before, then it might ring a bell when you see it in the future, because I'm sure that Eos still has it. I'm having trouble remembering things because in the background there's a massive sub bomb happening right now, and it's freaking me out. But
Happens.
yeah, but we'll address that shortly. But for the moment, yeah, it's gone. The seal. I don't know if you've seen Eos's one, but I believe if you haven't, you probably will at some point in the near future. So we can say that it rings a bell when you see it, okay?
And you are inside this.
I'm inside this one, yes. There are several out there, containing all sorts of things. But this one is, I guess, my home for the moment.
Turn and look for the hidden seams of this seal. And I just walked into this thing, so like surely there's a seam or a crack or a wall.
The way it works, it's usually the distance is based on the mental prowess of the person contained within. So for me, you can probably go quite far in this. I'm very well traveled, and I've seen many, many things. For certain people in your party, I won't name names, but it would probably be the contents of a room. It really depends.
Why can you not just leave?
I don't have permission to do that yet.
Who do you need permission from?
Well, the person wielding it, unfortunately. Later iterations of this I made much safer, but this one, unfortunately, was a design I made in more ignorance than hubris, where I didn't really think about the ramifications of such things, and I think it's quite poetic, to be honest, that I'm trapped within it. I sought to destroy this thing along with several other artifacts in the vault, but I thought within the vault they would be quite safe, so I did not see the immediate requirements, but that is on me, and that would be my hubris.
So you'll be in here for a while.
Possibly, but I do not think that this is my final resting place.
Where will be your final resting place?
I'm not sure if that's decided yet, but I imagine we'll find out someday soon. I'm getting up there in age.
Do not think you age in this place.
May I show you something, Weslyn?
Shrugs.
Do you know what one of the most magnificent parts of being a Maleficum is? We don't just see our own memories. We share sort of an ancestral link. We can go quite far back. And as such, we gain, well, a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and each of us becomes a more proficient and outstanding spellcaster because we lean on the knowledge of those behind us. And I believe something of that is something you could be familiar with. Your ability to wander others' dreams is quite spectacular. I've never met somebody who can do this. I can imagine that being a very, well, both a gift and a curse. You will be given knowledge that you do not want, but you will also be given the ability to find knowledge that you do seek. And that can be amazing, and that can be a detriment. But in each person's mind, there are secrets. And, well, it's important that you take caution when you're exploring these things. Because, well, you could stumble upon one of these secrets that somebody maybe doesn't want you to, doesn't want you necessarily to see. But there are some secrets that I'm willing to share with you, Weslyn. Recently, I went on a trip with your allies to a home. The home of Atsu. And when I did, I went to visit someone very important to me. Her name is Kaelora. Her surname is Toshimura, but before she was a Toshimura, she was a Maleficum. She is my daughter. I have done everything I can to give her a good life and keep her safe. And in doing so, I sent her to a place that unfortunately may not be safe anymore. I have no right to ask this of you, Weslyn, but you're the only person I can communicate with. If you were to go back there at any point, could you please check on her for me? And just see if she is alright?
She is in that city.
She is.
Saganatoshi.
Correct.
I will help your daughter. If you tell me how to destroy that.
Destroy which?
Point at
The seal?
The seal.
Yeah.
I would like to know how to break it.
Well, the way this works is, fortunately in the middle of the islands, the Molten Crown. It is said that it can destroy even the most powerful of magic. There is a forge beneath it that can also be used to create the most powerful of magic, according to legend. Whether or not that's true, I do not know.
Where is this place?
Have you seen the glowing volcano, Weslyn, from the center of the Isles?
I've seen many glowing volcanoes. Remington.
The one from this stream. From this season.
Wesley's going to slide a wall out of the way to get a view of this volcano.
Probably wouldn't be that important to Weslyn, but it is important to note that that's one of the rare times Remington would lose his composure for just a second, because that would surprise him. He opens his eyes wide and then closes them again. Your powers are substantially stronger than last time I saw you, Weslyn.
I wouldn't know, Remington. I will send word to the others. We will see to your daughter.
Is there something I can do for you, Weslyn? I have a great wealth of power and knowledge.
Destroy the shack and do not look inside it. Keep your mind clear of what is inside.
Okay.
That will help us both.
I cannot do that from in here, but once I am out, you have my word. I will make it my priority.
Thank you. If I can, I will return. I think I have a sense of where this is now. Cannot linger for long.
Kay is quite vocal about the things that she doesn't like, which makes her a target in a place like that. It also means she will not likely leave, or if she does, it would be against her will, which is not something I would like.
How do you remember what she looked like last?
I haven't... It depends on which form she takes. If you see her in her form as a Maleficum, she's purple skinned and has horns like I do, though her hair is also purple. However, if she's in her other form, her eyes would be purple, and she usually wears a cloak that resembles horns. So be it ears or some kind of points, she likes to keep her visage on display even when she is in hiding. But if you know what you're looking for, she stands out.
I will keep an eye out. Bye, Remington.
Goodbye, Weslyn.
We have an accord.
I'm sure we'll meet again.
We shall see.
With that, it crumbles like sand. And you open your eyes and you look over and you just see that Slate is walking away from Amadriana. Barely any moments have really passed. You're all together on the beach. Is there anything you'd like to do before I switch back to the others?
I better do a check-in with LB.
Okay.
But then I realised that he's too far, so I can't.
Oh, is he too far at 500 feet? Okay.
Yes, sir.
You look over and almost serendipitously, Albie is flying towards you with some sort of message. But to find out what, I do need to switch back to the others because I kind of cut Kian off earlier. I didn't let him tell me what what he was trying to say.
He was Hatsu, yeah.
Yeah. So, I suppose Hatsu. Yeah. Sorry. So I will switch back to them, and we shall see what they want to say. Yeah. Perfect.
It's weird. It's like the voice in the sky said I was meant to say something, but I feel like that was a message for you, Hatsu.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Voice in the sky
But
drops a giant boulder on the ship. Sorry, go ahead.
May the bee guide you.
Is that a boulder, Dad?
She
Oh shit!
kinda
Nah, it's just a piano.
has he has Albie on his arm, and he says, "Tell her that we don't have a safe way out, and she should prepare. Start think where we should go, But I guess we should get back to Eos first. Can you guys figure it out? There might be stuff in my backpack.
Hatsu, before we let Albie go, is Albie able to communicate that with Amidriana, or should we attach a note to Albie?
We will see, I guess. We live and we learn.
The Albie just flies away. Riker's just like, I don't really know what just happened. Is that a...
I thought you were a bird guy, Dash.
Yes, but Albie's my first magical bird.
What does
That's a magical
crows
bird?
and mockingbirds have in common?
So it's a magical bird. We also have a fox in the group.
Crows and mockingbirds both take the piss out of you.
If that's the only thing you learn from that, kudos, my friend. Kudos.
I mean, they're very different species of birds, both highly intelligent. The corvid's much more so than the mockingbird, but the mockingbird is much better at imitating other sounds than the corvid.
That's the only thing we know. And the only thing we need.
What about the yellow-breasted
Beautiful rare warbler.
Yeah, we eat
Yes,
them on the
Commander,
ship.
are you?
Yeah. They're
You
good.
what?
We eat them. Yeah, no, they're really good. We hunt them.
Dash
eat
draws
them.
his daggers. It's on.
Their eggs are a delicacy here.
That's it. I'm crashing out right now.
Hatsu steps towards Captain Riker.
Are
He
you also
bows a little
protective?
bit.
Sorry, go ahead. Hudson.
He goes down on his right knee, and from the back side of his belt, he gets his ninjato in the front, presents it, takes it out slowly, sheathes it, and he puts it that way. It's basically a very short sword, the size of a machete, you would say, but very delicate, very high decorated saya, so basically the sheath. And he goes, Captain Riker, if I may call you that. I truly believe you have a good heart, and you're a man of your word. If you can make it high enough to be a bridge between what they fear and what they wish for, I want this to be yours as a gift from the Toshitsugu clan, that it may guide you, that it may help you, and help the ones you swore to protect. And if you ever come to Saiga no Toshi, and you show this to someone of my clan, they will tell you everything you need to know. And he presents it in a way to offer it to him.
Is there a ceremonial way for me to take this? Would you like me to bow, or do I get on a knee? Is this tradition?
Just take it, Sensei.
He kind of bows, sort of awkwardly, but more militaresque than like Saganatoshi would be. And he takes it with both hands the way you had it out. And he looks at it, and then he just sort of takes the hilt, and he kind of glances at it, but like not intentionally disrespectfully, but definitely not the way you would handle the sword. This is someone who has trained in a more clunky style.
He's a rapier guy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, he does take a stance of like a sword fighter. With it, he's like, yeah, it's incredibly well balanced.
You know,
Thank you.
not every environment leaves you with enough space. This is a type of sword that should help you in close quarters, or if you get caught in the open waters.
I will keep it safe, and one day, when all this is done and I get to retire, and the world is a better place for it, I'll make sure to return this with you, more traveled and with more stories that I will tell you of the tales of this ninjato. Thank you, Mr. Toshitsugu.
Shikin hara mitsudai komyo. thank you for being who you are.
Kubi Koko to you too.
Should I delete it or should I send it to any?
I'll do that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
I guess, are we swimming back then?
I'd say so.
Well, that's a good question for the entire party as I bring them back. Madriana, Albie arrives and presents the information that Hatsu did, more mentally than verbally. You kind of more actually just remember what he said almost. Yeah.
I just look towards Slate, Wesley, and Aldrin, and I'm kind of like, get ready. This might be more difficult for them to get out than it was to get in.
Okay. We approach.
Slate.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Slate is obviously distracted, distant, clearly within earshot, and would have audibly heard what was just said, but no visible reaction to any of it.
Okay.
Are you two ready to get wet?
I think so. How much time do we have left, Dash?
Left?
For
Oh, checks watch. How long?
5 minutes, I guess.
No, way longer. You guys spend 5 minutes after he cast a spell, after she cast a spell, going across, and then I would put you on the boat about 10 minutes, so 45
But
minutes
she
probably
cast.
left.
She cast the climbing in the
Because
No,
Eos
she didn't.
mentioned
She
that
changed
she
the
did a
spell.
wrap up.
window. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
Alter Self allows you to tweak it
So-
as you're going, and she had used Alter Self. That's how she got the gills. So 15 minutes in, but she altered her form, and she can do that as much as she wants, as far as I know, within that hour.
Damn, that spell is sick.
unreal.
I guess you have about 45 minutes here, so plenty of time. Though,
Eos looks towards the door, just making sure it's properly shut and closed. Is it properly shut and closed? Voice in the sky?
It was already closed. Yeah.
Perfect.
Your father had closed
Yes.
and locked it. Yeah.
Before we do this, would you mind to share air? I don't think it's a good idea to take a breathing pause. I definitely need one.
No problem at all. Just one thing. Eos drops to her standard self. And she looks her dad in the eyes and says, I miss you
She
so much
is.
and I love you. Stay safe out there.
Eos, no matter how many forms you take, this will always be your most beautiful. And he hugs you really tight.
Cracks her back. She needed that.
Definitely cracks you back.
Okay, so any ideas where we could put our base before we go?
Oh yes, you were going to talk about that. I mean, what are the requirements? What are you trying to do?
Dash, I'll let you take this one, my friend.
access to waterways, escape routes, a point of nexus, I suppose, connectivity for passing of information and trade, something that, a place where we could also, turn a profit if we were to create, say, a tea room or a tavern or something to that end, but also something
Seaside
that
bar.
Seaside bar would be cool, but also some in a place where Eos could potentially be her natural self rather than having to hide all the time.
Well, I don't know that there are many locations out there where Eos can just really walk around and be herself. I mean, she referenced that Gomgalore place. If that's truly a space that she can be herself, then perhaps that would be a wise or advantageous space.
She could, but others amongst us couldn't, so it's tipping the scales the opposite way.
And maybe there's an island nearby Gomgalore that you could use. Or, I mean, realistically, the only islands that I know are particularly available are between here and Herbs. There are 3 surrounding the lighthouse. And he points out to like way in the distance, there's this fucking gigantic lighthouse. There are several of these across the waters. They're absolutely massive, and they're constantly there. You would all be kind of aware of this in some way or another. You'd probably see them anytime you guys were near the main water of the Isles, because it uses kind of a guiding system between the Isles to sort of, it's almost a circular point to like create light. And I mean, other than that, I suppose any town or village that's more accommodating towards her, but realistically, outside of a space that's just your own, there's not going to be anywhere where you're all accepted, right? Realistically, I mean, think about it. If you go to a place like Gomgalore where only Eos or the like of her is accepted, you guys are at a detriment. If you go to a place like Palperoth, you're all at a detriment. If you go to a small town where Eos isn't accepted, then you're at a detriment. So more likely what you would want to do is set up something and build around it and make a town that is accommodating for both. Build what you want rather than find what you need.
Beautiful thought.
Everyone has a gripe with someone. I mean, even I get disdain for being from Palperoth.
We're not the only people in the Isles that would care a lot about everyone in the Isles. Like, you pointed out that I'm a rare oddity, but I don't think I'm that rare. Build it and they shall come. That's how it goes. If you want something where everybody is accepted, build it that way, and the people who don't accept it are less likely to be there. The people who do will come. Create a Gomgalore, or whatever that was.
Until those who don't want it in existence come to stamp it out.
Well, I think you have allies who have learned how to do that very thing, if I understand the Arcanum correctly. Although I know not a lot about it, there isn't really a lot of people knocking on that door.
You are correct.
Is there any ship merchants or anything that you may know of?
Not here. The nearest would be Rirtas, probably.
My father's
quite
home.
far down. It's sort of south of Palperoth. Small fishing town, but good people, good place. Use your other form for that. Don't go in there looking for people.
That's true. It's just we're trying to kind of starting up, really.
I almost am sure that early morning, when the sun is rising, you could probably see Kakird from there. Pyramid.
Kakird.
If you truly want to see it, that might be a nice place to look at it from safely.
Dash, we're setting up base there.
That's where my father's from, yes.
Oh, that's nice.
They're kind of the remnants of Palperoth. They're the people who didn't really enjoy that lifestyle who went further south, yeah. One of the contenders to be the capital, but Palperoth eventually won that battle. The Triinsular battle.
They're like the rebel county, are they?
Cannot sing that song on stream.
I think you've given us some good options, Commander. We should probably discuss with the rest of our group.
Well, I mean, look, if you go to any town, there's usually a cartographer somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in need of certain spacing, I would be ambiguous about it if you can't trust their information and who they might give it to, but use your facilities, use what you've got around you.
Sure, if I ask, they'll just assume it's another brain-dead Palperothian who doesn't know the world.
I'm still not sure that's not who you are. That's a joke.
That's unnecessarily mean.
It was a good ribbing, as they say.
I don't know you that well. They can do it.
He awkwardly nudges your arm. Anyway,
as payment for that, you might answer one more question I have before I leave. Have you had to do anything you didn't quite agree with on your climb up this particular ladder?
I've never had to put my morals in question, but I've had my morals questioned. For example, the woman in the cage. I don't have a way to get her out without losing everything that I've built. And I don't stand or condone for the fact that she's in there to begin with. If I could get her out of here, I would. But unfortunately, the risks and ramifications of that don't have a knock-on effect on just me, but my family, and the lengths I would go to keep them safe is beyond anything that you will understand, at least until you're a father yourself. And then suddenly everything I'm saying will make a lot more sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense now, to be perfectly honest. It's worth it though, right?
I wouldn't give up Eos or Rain for anything. What I'm doing now is for them. And the knock-on effect of everything that I do will make their lives better, even in the smallest way.
Yos just does a slow look up from the shoes, the way he's dressed, the jacket, shoulders, uniform. Suits you.
It should. It was made for me. He smiles towards you. Eos, I'll be okay. Don't trust your dreams. They're nothing more than that. They're just your anxieties and fears showing light. I'm not sure how you know the things you do, but perhaps you picked up on stories from when we were young, because I did tell them to Rain. It is possible that somewhere in your subconscious you have those retained. You don't have foresight. You care a lot.
But we've seen a lot of things that shouldn't be possible, so just try to even consider that there might be something to it, and be prepared.
Let me get used to the portal thing from a moon staff first, and after
So
that
cool.
we'll see how
I'm gonna show it to you when you get home. It's so cool.
I can't wait to see it. I'm just 2 days
Yes.
from retirement.
Before we leave.
Kidding, I'm kidding.
You're coming with us.
Just grab him.
Just gets shot on the way out. That's it, right?
Can you remember the stars and the moon that you saw in your dream? That might help your father.
Yos breathes in. She thinks. She describes the way the constellation was at the time of the dream.
That's odd. That celestial formation is called Frostbear. It's pretty much tonight, actually. It's the clearest night to see it, but it'll be there for about a week.
Just be prepared. May the bee guide you.
If you have any kind of lightning, just.
Yeah, I don't have that. I have really big cannons on the side of the ship.
Okay.
They're very big, though.
Imagine-
Yes.
How big?
A small boat, but each one.
What's your heading from here?
Those are military secret stash. You're very interested in military secrets. Are you a spy of sorts, or what is this?
Rebel with some cause?
Tinker soldier. I don't know.
But also, I'm more thinking if you happen to be off the coast of where we happen to be when shit goes down, if it goes poorly, you would have a rescue team nearby.
I'll be heading northwest, away from Desolata. And very far into the ocean.
I wish you luck. Eos is right, you are a good man. I had my doubts, I don't trust military, but she was absolutely right.
It's okay. I don't trust anyone from Pelperoth.
You
He
shouldn't.
smirks towards you again. Please get off my ship. This was supposed to be a 10-minute meeting, and we're...
I know.
Oh, wait, no, you guys were there for a lot longer. There was a 20-minute conversation. I forgot about that. So there should be about 25 minutes left, I think, if I math this mathing.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Aldi's, like, pecking the window, like, impatiently, like, just constantly.
I get the rope ladder ready and just... When is the next round?
He leans out the window, and a small boat just goes as it sails past, as it rows past, and then he watches it go. Now. Go.
Try to time it with the slap of the oars.
Gills.
So, interestingly, because you said about Albie tapping on the window, Roper, he understands all languages that I do, which means that which means he was telling Dash, "There's a boat coming. Hold up."
I am.
Okay, now you're clear.
I'm so fucking allowing this. That is so cool. That is the best use of rule of cool I can ever do as a DM. Fuck yes. Tacky talk for sure. Albie can do tacky talk.
But I'll just do it back to Albie. We're clear. We're on the way.
But only if Albie calls Dash the lesser rogue, and only the lesser rogue and nothing else. Perfect. The entire time, just that's all he'll refer to Dash as.
Catch Albie by the beak.
You can't. You love birds too much. Your one weakness.
Damn it! No.
He knows him as the flashy one. That's what he knows him as.
The flashy one.
Because it's all about because of the shine off his watch, and you know how crows love shiny things as well as like magpies and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's just the flashy one.
Your ivory crow is right. Absolutely. So we shall take a break on that note, and we will come back and we will have the full party together. Probably nobody will be dead. It'll be great.
And then we're gonna go and rob a place.
What? Huge thank you. I was very hard to keep my composure. That was nutty. Thank you so much for the incredible bomb of subs. I didn't see how many it was in the end, but looked like
74.
74. Yeah, it looked really far up there. You guys are nuts. Thank you so much. That was really crazy.
Level 10 hype train.
Huge thank you to Vitharian and Blue Nessie, who were just, I think, battling each other. Is that what I was trying to...
Yeah.
What was happening? I couldn't quite see what was happening or how that started. There was some kind of...
It started
fight.
off like that, but then Nessie got drowned.
Just
Actually.
when I came on today, I was wondering if, because I saw Nessie had one more than Vitharian, and I guess that was from an extra play stream that I didn't catch, and it was something going on there, and then I just saw the live performance immediately after. So thank you so much. I heard that Nessie's like a loss by 5. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you all. It's so awesome, and thank you so much for actually being in chat and talking and hanging out, and for Nessie as well. We all send our love to Alice. Hello, because she's watching the stream too. She called us nerds. Hello. We are nerds.
We are nerds.
We are.
Hey.
And looking forward to having you at the table someday to play some D&D as well. I already know she'll play a Vulpin because she loves foxes as much as I do, so it's perfect.
Good choice.
We will take a break. We will be back in the 10. So thank you so much for being here. We love you very much. You guys are awesome. See you in 10. Or if you're on YouTube, just press the little arrow key and we'll already be back. What are you doing? BRB. Back. Oh, it worked that time. Great. And look, we have Kyle on camera. My bad. I didn't know until I got a myriad of messages on break that I just cut Kyle from the episode completely. I'm so sorry, brother. I am so sorry. For the podcast listeners, you probably didn't notice, but for the viewers, thank you for letting me know that I accidentally just cut Kyle entirely from the session. We will join Eldrin as he wanders down the beach alone, having an emo moment. Or chasing birds. I don't know. What do you do, man? You tell me. What do you want to do, pal?
So I'm walking down the beach and I see Wes, and he's kind of woken up, but to me, I don't realize he's had this lovely dream. To me, I just see him waking up, and I just turn to him and I just say, I don't like sand. It's coarse, it's rough, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere. And I just keep walking.
Just cut him back out of the episode. Hang on.
Have you ever asked the sand whether it liked you or not?
I've never gotten that intimate with the sand, but it's definitely gotten everywhere that it's probably been intimate with me.
Have you asked the sand to not?
No.
Perhaps you should try there.
I kind of want to get away from the beach a little bit. I don't know. It was cool at the start, but sand is everywhere now.
Go for a swim.
No, the last time I went for a swim was after I had a I had a drink with Dash, and he tried to have his way with me or something. I don't know. But
Like the sand is having its way with you?
kind of in a way, except this is a little bit more rough and irritating.
I don't think there's anything you can do to help. Those are the only things that I know to get rid of sand. You could remove your clothes and dance about and hopes that the sand will remove itself and wait for the wind to blow it away. And then the wind will play with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna slowly walk away from Wes because in my mind I've only just met him and he's telling me to get naked, so I'm like, that's a bit weird. I'll say, just shout me when the guys are back, and I'll just kind of like thumbs up in the air behind me.
Okay. So you get naked. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, as you rejoin the group, it's like a quieter time for you. You're just using this as time to gather yourself. Recently, things have been a bit stressful for you, what with the kidnapping and all. And so...
A bit sulky as...
Yeah. Got forced out of your home, nearly kidnapped, sent to the Arcanum, taken from the Arcanum quite quickly by a random group of people that you didn't know, to then get kidnapped while then one of them murders someone randomly. Then the town that you're in after you're back safe the following night gets up completely raided. You get forced out of that town, you get brought to Eos's home, thrown through a fabric of reality that has just been ripped open, and now you're standing outside a giant fort that you just, like, you know about and it's there, but realistically this has been a pretty bad week for you. So
thought ripples through Eldrin's mind as he's, yearning for his forbidden symbol. And he thinks, it's always where is Eldrin, not how is Eldrin. And he just kicks the sand again.
Somewhere Fall Out Boy is playing.
Yeah, speaking of fall, do I see anything fall from the ship as the guys are coming back? As I look over towards the ships and see if anything is going on in particular.
I don't think you would see them because they're probably at this point underwater, swimming, kissing Eos, that kind of thing. Just normal stuff. Consensually, she gave consent. You're pretty much just waiting. Slate is in a huff, and Madriana's probably also in a huff, maybe, but more of a stoic one. Weslyn, hard to tell. He's still probably talking to sand, maybe. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No, nothing else I'd like to do. For now, just reiterate the point of I'm having a bit of a sulk and emo moment, and I am definitely missing something from my pocket.
Oh, that's why. I'm with you. Yep, nope, it's missing. All right, so emerging from the water, the Dash, Hatsu, and Eos emerging from the water. Dash, your leather has tightened because water is not good for leather.
It's like skin, you do have to keep it moisturized, but man, This is a lot. I think I got sand everywhere.
I'll fucking do it, man. I will kick you out of this campaign.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
It's just like
Adriana.
does the Leo DiCaprio moment of hey there.
I just turn to Dash as he says that, and I go, "Have you thought of any names for the kid yet? Luke could be cool." And I just turn and walk away.
Daggers are now out.
Give that man inspiration.
Eldrin, my friend, how are you? Got it.
Yo's just walking past the two of them, directly in front, turning back to her normal self.
So what's the news then? Sorry, Adrian, carry on.
I would have questioned that a couple of weeks ago. Now I don't question anything anymore. But yeah. What's the news? What's going on?
Well, it kind of looks towards Madriana as well. We don't have an immediate route home. It looks like Eos's trick was a one-way ticket at the moment. Quick side note, there is someone of magical descent that is in a cage in the middle of this place that we were told we definitely shouldn't attempt to rescue.
Shouldn't do that, Dash. No.
We shouldn't do it, no. We absolutely shouldn't do it. He throws eyes at
What
Madriana.
we absolutely should do is try to make another portal, Eos.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it wasn't the book. Maybe it was you. And if it was you, we have a fast way back before we do something stupid.
It's true. Where's the bag, Hatsu?
Looks back
It's
over to the
right.
ship. Shit!
Just as the sails are dropping down.
It is
I
still
dropped
with
the
you,
bags
right?
down because I had been holding everybody's bags that they gave me, and I kind of just was dragging that along in the sand. I'm like, I'm sorry, the sand, it gets everywhere.
The only one you didn't have was Hatsu's because he gave it to me, and there's no freaking way she'd have ever given it to anyone else.
Okay, so Madriana gives Hatsu back his bag. Eldrin gives back the other bags.
Yeah.
Takes out the staff.
So
It snapped a knife.
you were told that there was a person there that we should not rescue.
We were told
Totally.
in no uncertain circumstances that it would be a very bad idea to try to rescue this innocent individual who's being held in a cage because of how they look. Yes, that's exactly what we were told.
So we are.
Staff, are you on?
No, Eos' father actually said something different.
Yes's father said we should not rescue this person, nor attempt
That's right.
to, because we would end
He
up
said it would
scorched
be
wood.
so dangerous that we might not make it out with her. That's what he said.
That's
He
what-
also said he cared about her, he gave her food, but he can't risk his and his family's life to make her escape.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm quite happy to risk mine if there's an innocent person sitting in there in a fucking cage.
How do you know she's innocent?
we should
Thank
find
you,
out.
Weslyn.
Why would the leader of a army that hunts these type of people say she was innocent if she wasn't?
Could Albie find out?
He didn't say she was innocent, he said he didn't know what led to her capturing. He
He also says
assumes
because of how
it
she
was
looks.
because of her look, but he also said he doesn't know the circumstances.
Yeah, we shouldn't do this at all. We should really go back to the house.
Is your portal working?
I'm gonna try. Staff? She plants it into the sand and holds it tight.
Yeah, what's up?
Tries to focus.
If you try and
focuses
do
her
that,
mind through the crescent moon as to her home.
I'm determined to give one of you a sentient item of just indifference.
Oh, like every animal that ever spoke to me in the last campaign?
They were the most challenged creatures that I have ever come up with. And it's just mostly to upset Richard and Adam. That was mostly the goal.
ADD, yeah.
Never focused on whatever objective you wanted them to. Your staff. You plant it in the sand and you whisper the word home. Nice.
Rudik.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's good. What else are you guys doing?
I'm sending in Albie. I've worked out the timings of the lights, of the guards, everything. I want to send him in so that I can, 1, get a visual representation of this creature, 2, understand if they understand Taki talk, and 3, I want to try and work out how difficult it would actually be to open this cage.
Well, Hatsu sees that Emiliana is definitely tinkering something out. He just looks at her and says, "You think about the way in, I think about the way out." And he goes over to Eos, grabs the staff. That's where I leave it. Just, I don't want to interrupt Rhino, just that you know.
No. Majorana, while you look at her and even the lights on her mask that would normally represent her eyes are just gone. It's as if it's hollow on the mask now. And I'd say by now, yeah, you'd know for sure that that means that she's like watching through Albie's eyes, or like she's like, you know, doing her thing with Albie. And she just replies, "That's fine by me. My entry's always been better than my exit."
I'll gesture for Slate to come over. So while Adriana's scouting, it seems at the very least we're considering the idea. How do you feel about talking our way in? I mean, we could have made a citizen's arrest of a dangerous entity.
Like glances over at Adriana and said, "Yeah, we could deliver a prisoner."
One that could get away.
Well, while you have your thoughts about how you lie your way in, I have to have a short talk with Slate and Eos.
Okay.
Slate, could you find out how that works? I think you might know a little bit about this.
You're still grabbing onto the staff while it's being held by.
Yeah, both are holding it. Like Hatsu is shoving the staff with her hand on it over.
So as I step away from Dash and the conversation about talking away in and out, having seen the commander previously outside in the illusion that we discerned later, I'm going to flash that face and then give a wink and then turn and walk to the staff and the other two just a few steps away aside. Previously, having cast Identify and spending the time on it and then furiously writing everything I could remember from it, I have the pieces of paper that we were to bind into a book. So I'm going to start taking all of those out of my pack. I had some semblance of chronological order, so I'm going to start flicking through the notes that I took from when I previously identified it to see if I can remember anything or anything is in that information to help me spark or allude to the others what they could think about trying.
Yes, you're very good at this too. Can you do that together?
Of course.
It has a name, you know.
What? Who has a name?
The staff.
Does it have a name?
Don't remember.
Oh.
It's faint in the back of my mind.
I love you, John.
Well, how do you know the name of that thing? Have you been in its dream?
It does not have a dream. It's made from a tree grown by the gods.
Who told you that?
a dream.
Dreams can talk as well.
Dreams can do many things. Hatsitsugu Hatsu. Hashitsugu Hatsu? You have a very long name.
Oh, Weslyn is nice. You can call me Hatsu.
Hot Su?
Like hot soup, just different.
Hot soup it is.
Okay, Westing.
Close.
See, same, but different.
I don't follow.
What did the dream tell you?
It has a name, and it's made from the tree of the gods.
Okay.
You should find its name. Or implore the gods.
When I touched it and identified it and had that exchange of information from casting Identify, does anything that Weslyn is saying ring any bells from the scribbled notes that I got? The carved from a tree, made by the gods, all this type of stuff? Because I was, writing all the symbols and different things. Does any of that spark anything for me from what I gleaned from that interaction with it?
Did you take a note of the name earlier?
What I said that I did was I wrote out everything, including the symbols that I
but you,
represented.
Richard, are like an avid note taker. Did you take a note?
Oh,
earlier?
yeah.
You know what the name is? If you do, that's... I don't know. You'll probably have inspiration already, so I don't know how to reward you for that. But if you do, I'll find a way. But if you don't, I will tell you the name. So all that's on the line is a potential reward of some kind for your knowledge.
I was pretty sure that I...
It's not a test. If you don't have it, it's okay.
I'm pretty sure I had it, but I
Just
may
me being
not.
kind of sadistic with my plan.
Just give me a moment.
I'll give you a moment. Eldrin, you have sand in your boot. I just wanted you to know. It's like a lot of it too. It's like really, and it's like a metal boot too, so it's like...
There's some sand in my boot.
As I'm taking off my boot, I'm frustrated and I'm like, I hit my hand off the floor and I'm like kind of just sulking. As I do that, I cast Thaumaturgy.
Mm-hmm.
And there are harmless ground vibrations for 1 minute, just out of anger.
No problem.
I'm gonna go sit next
to the range
Eldrin.
of 30 feet.
Sorry, Eldrin, go ahead.
I'll go sit next to Eldrin, and I'm just gonna put one arm around him and just give him that kind of, side hug. It's okay to be upset.
I sneeze directly onto you. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm sorry.
that was.
The sand got on my nose. Did you know it gets everywhere?
It gets everywhere. It's coarse and irritating.
That's what I said.
You can always go for a dip and wash it off.
Why does everyone want me naked?
I'd say take your clothes off, you pervert.
I sneeze on you again. For the podcast, I've just sneezed twice now, but you didn't hear me. So yeah, I'm sorry, Dash. It's definitely up my nose, lodged somewhere. At least it's not in my eyes.
That's okay. I didn't mean to take your clothes off to go for a swim. You can just, wade in and wash yourself off and walk back out.
Would that not ruin my armor? This pauldron's beautiful. I don't want to get it rusted.
I don't know, mine's leather and it's got a bit tight after I went for a swim. I thought the moisture would be good for it, but apparently not. Oh, of course it's salt water, it's drying it out.
You meant to use oil, not water, you idiot.
Fair, I'll accept your criticism.
Yeah.
How are you getting on, Richard?
I'm not going to oil up, though. Sorry.
After turning stars.
Well done. I will give you a reward in some capacity over the course of this episode. Bear with. And please, in future, use your inspiration cut. So, Slate, you have information regarding the scepter. You may use that however you see fit. I believe you have the scepter on you. That is up-to-date, accurate information. The one in Foundry is, including the name, which is on the item in Foundry on your sheet, by the way. It hasn't changed much, I don't think, really at all, bar some, I think I spruced up some of the wording, maybe. For the most part, it's the same.
So while I'm flicking through the pages that I have with all the notes that I took on the staff, I look back to the guys and I say, what is it exactly you want me to try and decipher from the notes?
What does it do? What is it there for? What is its property? Things like that.
I mean, clearly it's carved to channel magic. I think what Weslyn said was true about being carved from an ancient branch.
And it gets us back home.
I mean, it did bring us here, so...
But you don't know the limitations of it, is what I mean.
Sometimes you have to rest when you're traveling downstream. Or wait for the tide to come back in.
So as I'm flicking through the pages and looking and turning the pages and tracing my finger down all the things, there's lots of information here, but I don't understand how it did what it did from what I have here.
So it's an innate thing with you, yes.
Or it works as a conductor for the other things that were in the room. Or the apparatus in the cellar needed an input which you gave with the staff.
All I can say...
Holds it. She looks at the shape of it, the way the moon is bound to the branch itself, and the way it's formed and created, I guess is the right way, crafted, who knows. And then slowly she kind of tries to rise out of Hazu's hand, and she wants to go on a little walk towards the shore with it.
All right, Moses.
As I'm flicking through the pages, I'm going to kind of point to some of the drawings, which is of a crescent moon, and obviously it's on the staff. And
very quickly, I'm fucking livid I didn't say Mosios instead of Moses, but that's fine. Sorry, go ahead.
And I'm going to say to the guys, there's something here about moonlight, starlight, something, but I don't know if that's connected or relevant, and just keep going through the symbols and keep looking.
She goes towards the waves coming in. She takes off her shoes. She feels the water between her toes, wrap around her legs up to her ankles, and simply places the staff before her. And I cast a message to the moon section itself. Who are you?
No response.
Can you make a fucking ant or something reply?
Just like a bug on it. Just like, my name's Tony.
My name's Jeff.
Yeah. Speak with animals would have worked. Maybe. Actually, they're not even animals. I don't know. Speak with bug would have worked. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, there's no response or anything like that. There's. As you cast the spell, there's a faint glow from the crescent moon, though.
Cool. Okay. Something. Just gonna do a little bit of breathing for about 30 seconds.
She only breathes for 30 seconds a day. That's fucking mental.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. You take your time. You compose yourself. You take deep breaths.
Just gonna cast message again.
Faint glow. An ant walks by, but no response.
This time, what are you?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Faint glow. Nothing.
She looks up to the sky. Eyes go black. Just trying to sense if there's any deity, trying to search for Minerva in a way. Spiritual search.
We're all doing that.
Yep.
I mean, I could do something like make you roll for religion or something, but ultimately I think spirituality is a sense of oneself rather than a character's knowledge or anything beyond that. Obviously the more you know, the better it is for you to understand, but a big part of that is your journey. So for this, what Eos gets from that search is entirely up to her, but it is also entirely within her. It doesn't activate anything within the stuff.
That's okay.
While you're deep in a thought, you would hear, Mother of Light, Creator of Shadows, send us a bee for those who in need. And he would do it like rhythmically, like the waves to try to calm you down. And at some point he would say, this is Kazejoba. I never knew what it was for, but it was a connection between this time and my ancestors' time, and it transported their will to me. Maybe this is something your father left behind to make you be able to reconnect to your ancestors at some point.
With that, she's going to try and use elementalism to beckon air around where she's standing in the water, but she's trying to focus the funneling of it through the staff. She's trying to tease out his capabilities.
While you cast the spell, the staff itself interacts with that more so than the spell that's being cast. It seems to glow a little bit more intensely than when you cast message, likely due to the we'll just for the sake of D&D call it the level of the spell, but realistically probably the power or intensity of it is interacting with the staff more. There are small little glowing stars that have purple hue around the moon for a little moment, and then they fade away as the spell does too. But there's nothing beyond that.
Okay. Atu, can you cast that dark cloud around us when I ask you to?
I could.
Okay, I want to try something, but I don't want. Kind of gestures her eyes towards Ash Rest. Anyone to see this?
Yeah, a big purple circle in the desert won't be any more distracting than a faint purple glow. A big black circle, I should say, instead of a faint purple glow. You're right. That makes sense. D&D. Yeah. So you look down towards the stuff again. What are you trying to do?
Use. Down into the sand below the staff, she's trying to funnel Sorcerer's Burst.
Wait, do you want me to do it now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to time this. He's going to try and pretty much use lightning.
Okay. The black clouds sort of encompasses both of you, and from the outside there are small cracks of light as if they were inside a thunderstorm. Within it, a large crack of lightning strikes down as thunder rolls quietly away from you. It's not like a massive thunder roll, but it's masked by Hatsu's cough, don't worry. And it he coughed at the same time just to make it, extra hidden.
Like when you fart
as
and
it
cough, yeah.
cracks down, it hits the staff, and the staff glows incredibly bright, almost visibly for a moment through the darkness, but the darkness once again takes over. Nothing beyond that happens seemingly with the staff. Imagine it exploded though, that'd be nuts.
That'd be freaking crazy. Huh?
Is there any sign from Ash Rest that this is being noticed?
You guys are kind of far away, but at this point it is probably getting to that point where if you guys keep casting bigger and bigger things, people are going to notice. I'll say no for now because you guys are on the shore 500 feet away. It's pretty far. Like they would, it's also night, so it's not like it's daytime.
That's what I was thinking, the big crash of lightning, if there's a flicker.
It's contained within darkness, thankfully, because it's a localized thing, but yeah, it is, as I wallop my mic stand for the 92nd time on this bloody podcast. Yeah, it is absolutely something that that needs masking, and they did that quite well, so I'm not punishing that. Yeah.
Is the black darkness, I presume it's like a perfectly spherical ball, is it?
Close enough.
Like a cloud in it.
Is that quite noticeable from Dash's perspective?
Yeah, you're about 20 feet away from it, so yeah, for you it would be quite noticeable, yeah.
That's all.
Well, Eos, when I got my sword, I thought it was an ordinary sword in the first place. Then I realized it was made in a special way so it could channel my energy way better than another weapon could do. I guess you will learn over time how to channel your energies and use that staff to help you with that as an extension of yourself.
Absolutely, Hassan. The same way that I feel so comfortable and good with the rapier, with the help of your trainings, of course. I want to be accepted by this staff. I feel like I've seen it for years and all of my life, but I've never. And she grasps it tighter. Never felt so distant from it.
Maybe it's because you feel so distant from yourself.
Thank you.
Why? And he drops the darkness.
And she throws the stuff into the ocean, knowing it'll never be tamed by her.
No. I'm going aquatic form back in.
Just the DM and Eos have like an argument.
Picture that gif of it, was it Kylo Ren's trying the lightsaber, and then General Grievous just comes
running in and grabs it. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even though the gang were in darkness there, would we have heard their conversation or anything? Just out of
Talking
curiosity.
pretty quietly. You guys are at least 20 feet away, so I'd probably say no for the most part, but you're aware they're doing something and that the darkness wasn't a concern in that sense, but I know that's not what you're asking, but just for a note, it's not like you'd go running in and just like knock Hatsu down or something. I'm sure it was pretty not ominous black smoke. Yeah.
No worries. I was asking for more or less just RP purposes, but I suppose there's no harm in continuing on from Hatsu's lovely message and lovely guidance to Eos. While I've been mulling over all my thoughts and everything's going on, and Dash trying to lend a shoulder to Sulkan and stuff, a thought occurs to Eldrin that for some time now things are very, very, very up in the air, and he needs to kind of just feel more grounded and more himself. And a thought occurs that he needs to find somebody when the time is right. And that person I will reveal to the party at some point when I bring it up in conversation, but the thought occurs that he needs to go somewhere and he needs to meet someone.
Yeah.
Daddy issue number 5.
He is safe
That's
from
the thing,
parental narration forever. The narrative for him is fine. His parents are happy. Everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be fine forever, and there's no issues whatsoever.
After watching,
Yeah, sure, because he's adopted.
Wow.
No comment.
You were supposed to stuff in her backpack.
Drama.
As you're putting it in,
After
you just hear,
watching-
"Oh, hey, I was going to work," and then you just put it away. Go ahead.
Specifically, she's keeping the crescent moon side in the backpack. And,
Okay. There's a big stick sticking out of it. Got it.
yeah.
So, shall we evaluate?
Yeah.
There's no way we can get back with the staff, I guess.
We can, but just gotta have to talk to it. I don't know.
So, we don't have horses, we don't have a boat.
No. can't
How
take that
shall
as well.
we escape with a horde of soldiers on our tail? We don't know the terrain.
you're not gonna like this, but I'm gonna say if you did something and you don't know how you did it, it's in your memories whether you know it or not, because that's what I found. So, Vatras,
What
He
is
was walking towards the
Valfrost?
water again.
We're gonna say.
What is Valfrost?
a person in a book.
There's a person in the book.
Apparently. Never met him.
When you touch the book, you can go inside the book and meet Vatras. And he has a way of reading your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your energy. And he's quite skilled at revealing
And-
things that you don't know about yourself.
He also can make you suffer if you don't agree.
Agree with
Agree
what?
with what?
With his ideas of how much of your memories are really.
Hmm.
And I can only tell you, Weslyn, if your mind is sacred to you, you will never touch this.
It's almost like a HOA encroaching on your own property.
There's nothing I hate more.
What?
Have you not heard of this? It's an evil creature called the HOA.
The only thing constant in all of Weslyn's dreams is the HOA.
Hooah.
The Hoa, yes.
Never heard of this creature.
Never heard of a boa constrictor?
Never agree to anything it
Oh.
says.
I'm aware. It's probably like a Saganatoshi version of a boa constrictor or something. I need to get out more. Need to read, National Wandering Geographic.
Then are
You
we
might
staying
have
here
to.
for the night? We leaving the dawn?
We might have a job to do this evening.
Job.
Anything from Albie?
I'm waiting for him to come back.
Just lands on your shoulder. Hey, what's up? In his
By the
own
way-
Albie way.
The HOA,
Yeah.
I imagine being run by fish people because they're the Kuahoa.
Okay, get me a pen. I need to write this down. I love that.
Got to have ourselves a fish fry here shortly.
Yeah, right.
We're all going underwater mission now.
No, please no water.
Everyone on the boat.
Only the witches. Only the witches.
Do that over December when I'm not here.
That's when we have our like Christmas special. But what is the plan actually? Because we've been just standing on the beach for quite a long time. So Rory appears to have his hand up like this is school, so I'll start with him.
Eos will sit down at the shore, cross-legged,
Smacking his
listen
staff off a rock.
slowly. Listen slowly to the waves. Takes out the staff, puts it across her lap, and slowly enters into meditation. A trance, if you allow it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're taking a rest.
She's gonna try and remember how the hell she ended up getting the gang here.
Sure. I'll say, as opposed to a full trance, I'll say that you are just meditating, because that can be done in any state, time, being, except skydiving for some reason.
Really?
So let's go ahead and have a history check, and I will give you advantage for meditation reasons. And I just want to see how this goes.
Okay. 7.
That was a surprisingly useless advantage.
Might use my inspiration if that's okay.
You can do whatever you want, pal.
All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Rock and roll history. 16.
Significantly better. You do not roll 2 when you roll with your inspiration, but your first one was the 16, so that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. You remember walking over after Slate had examined it. You remember pointing it towards a space and just letting the staff guide you. The staff already had been helping I don't want to say helping. It was already guiding Slate through the process too, it seemed. And with that, yeah, that's what you remember. You remember just kind of opening it as if you were just opening paper from a distance.
Gotcha. Okay, she's gonna just sit there for another while, trying to mull over any details she might have in her memory and such, just general.
Eldrin,
Yes.
have you ever witnessed entities in holy places that have wings?
None that come to mind instantly, but
I'm just
Like-
thinking maybe we are here for a reason. Because in that facility, the woman that we talked about, she looks different because she has wings. Like these mystical creatures that are called angels, your father said.
Excuse me, what? You failed to tell me that part.
I didn't tell you anything. You talked to Dash.
Okay, what? You as a collective you, not you a personal you. You're saying there's someone in there that has wings, like me?
Hi.
I think maybe we could help this person.
Maybe we got guided to this place to be here for that person.
It's possible. It's possible. Like it could
Maybe
have been
it's the
bringing
same
us to help this
reason
person.
why we got Weslyn back.
What?
I've only met Weslyn, so.
Oh, you have met the Weslyn before. This is the Weslyn after. He can't remember most of the stuff.
Does this happen all the time?
It's all in a dream.
You haven't known him long
start
enough to
pinching
know
myself.
that happens all the time.
Are we dreaming now?
So far as Weslyn is concerned, yes. Short version, Weslyn lives in dreams. He became an old man and died, and now he's back. You didn't meet previous Weslyn. This is new Weslyn in his spring years, and he has a fresh set of, or blank slate, I guess, of memories. And
he's very old.
He's very old,
Older
but
than
full
he
of
knows.
youthful vigor.
But don't see him in his winter days. He becomes old very rapidly.
Yeah, that was sad.
That's so unique. And I look at Weslyn and say,
But I'm convinced now that we're here to get her out. But I'm still not convinced how we get away with it.
That I'm working on.
I think Slate and I could pull something off. A convincing military commander and a civilian contractor. We have badges of authority.
I think the only way to do this is to do it without showing ourselves at all.
Always two options: sneak in or talk our way in. My experience is always talking my way in, but I've never done it in this kind of a facility.
Okay, who gave you the authority to transport that person?
Him, points at Slate.
How did you even know about that person?
This is Commander Thorne. His authority is above my station, comes direct from the king.
There was never a message to the king about that person.
Takes out forgery kit and waves it. I can make anything we need with this.
I'm just saying that person has been there for a few days, and I guess if she would have more of importance, Eo's father would have known.
He's not to know this is not naval.
I'm just saying the stakes are high.
Oh,
if
I know.
I'm
contributing what my argument would be, and then you tell me how it goes.
Alternatively, we take a blended approach where you and I go in there for whatever you want to call it, an audit of some kind, and we see the person. We can have discussions with the guards, which actually, as long as we don't do anything and then we leave, we are forgettable and it's routine. But that might be just what Adriana needs to do, what she needs to do unseen. So actually, perhaps both in unison is the way to go.
Agreed, but how do you sell your travel to here? How did you come here?
By foot.
Scribbles on a piece of paper.
The right guard travels by foot since when?
Not guard, covert operations. We travel quiet, unseen, take the long way around.
So...
On my piece of paper, I'm going to write several options, and I'm going to write reports of magic use within the ranks to be investigated, reports of plague and or sickness, and a list that goes on like this. So something that has been reported, and these are like people who've been sent to look at the base, report back to see if it's actually worth sending anyone to actually do anything. So they're just there to confirm or deny a report. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what if we would stay hidden a few more days to study that place and try to understand who goes in and out and how before we decide to do something?
That person might not have a few days.
And we definitely don't in this heat. We're lucky now, but if we try to camp out here for any extended period, we would be in severe trouble. I mean, risk to life. I don't mean just, ooh, it's a bit hot and I'm thirsty. I mean, we die if we park out here.
So it's now or never?
How many cages is she in?
Just...
Well, that's a good point. Let me find out.
Also, we did see that convoy just kind of charge up earlier, so we know that convoys do arrive and they just barrel straight in. Worst case, they didn't see us. Worst case scenario, they turn us away at the gate. We've been a minor distraction. We are not going to commit any crimes as such.
That's not the worst. The worst is they take you both in, decide to interrogate you, and go to Scorchwood. I almost said Azkaban.
I get to see Dad if he's there. But
let me check in with LB, see what it's like. I might be able to sneak in on my own.
On your own seems like an even bigger risk.
But better the risk of one than the risk of all of us. Only if it was possible, Dash. Don't worry, I'm not stupid.
Okay, just remember, we don't trade lives.
That's fair. And that's not what I'm looking to do. Someone's got to keep your stupid ass alive.
That's not going to be me.
That's the only reason I was actually going to go.
Why?
Keep his ass alive.
I mean, there's an argument for it. If that person has wings and she can fly, they could both fly out, right? We can't fly yet.
There's another way.
Which is?
What is the way?
And a seal appears in his hand. A spherical ball. One that he had seen.
To the rest of you, this looks like an archaic, much older version of the seal that Eos has in her backpack.
Do you not have one of these?
Do not.
No?
That looks like something that have been, but different.
What does it do?
Do you remember when we were in Remington's office?
I remember when I was in Remington's office.
Not that time, I guess.
The thing
You
that
haven't been in
go into-
Remington's office when we were in the thing. That was another dream.
It's usually the case. Perhaps I merely dreamed that you had this. Possible.
So we
Be
put
certain.
her in this?
This is merely a reflection. This is not real. And he waves his hand and it dissipates.
Oh.
Do you
I have
still...
been led to believe you have one.
Who told you that?
A dream.
Has that dream a name?
I first need to confirm whether you have seal or not. It's important
Have you,
sometimes when you're dealing with
Eos?
dreams to find anchors,
Hi.
to confirm whether or not they are real.
Has that dream something to do with what I ask you for?
Possibly.
Hi.
The accord has not yet been met. We'll deal that
So-
in time.
Do you have it, Eos?
Eos gets up slowly. She, carefully holding the staff now, reaches into her backpack with her right hand and takes out the seal. Kind of not all the way, but shows it. I've got it.
Can I see that, please?
Oh, sure. Takes it out fully, brings it over to Wes.
Wes will take it in his hand. And it is the evening, correct?
I think we're into just early night. Yeah.
It's like 7:30.
It was 9 p.m. when you went on the ship, I think.
Oh, maybe not.
Weslyn vanishes.
The
Just...
seal just lands in the sand.
Oh, no. He didn't teleport.
Oh, sorry.
But all belongings that are on his person will also vanish. Just light folds in on itself, and he is no longer visible.
What do the rest you want to do?
So, about the
Hatsu's
staff.
poking at the place where Weslyn was last.
Oh, Weslyn's still there. It's still
So he
alive.
feels him. How did you do that? I want it.
I'm surprised you can't.
Unfortunately not. It would be very helpful.
You should begin to practice.
I
Have some time you'll learn.
understand what you're going to do, Weslyn, and that is brilliant. But I have to tell you something before you do this. She has to go in that seal willingly. Otherwise, it could shatter her mind. Do you understand?
Is Weslyn invisible?
Then her rescue is up to her.
Exactly. And she has to go in willingly. That is important.
Okay,
So-
Weslyn, what do you need us to get the door open?
I mean, he
Fire
could
the
just
walls.
knock.
I'll handle the cage.
So we're really doing this.
I mean, just worth pointing out, if you fly in carrying Weslyn, that's a very visible thing.
There's other ways to sneak in around here. I've been monitoring the place while you guys were gone. I don't need to use that unless as a last resort.
Okay. Are we going with our distraction at the gate as well?
I would say wait until you get a panic sign from Albie, I guess.
Might be too late then. I think 2 auditors arriving at the gate would not take priority if they suspect something's amiss, but drawing them away beforehand might help. Give you the advantage, so to speak.
I
The
can
other
help.
thing. How?
Well, when I was angry earlier, I was shaking the ground, but I can do other things. Like I'm also military trained, but also I can do things like and I cast Thaumaturgy, and there's a rumble of thunder in the air.
Eldrin, I don't
Is
mean
that-
to
do that. I can
jump on your
maybe
parade, but
do
spells,
something.
You'll be killed. As much as I want to
Would they
help
know
my
what's
friends,
coming
I
from
can't
me?
go in there.
One at a time, please.
They know what's coming from me.
This would be
If
highly
they
trained.
that's what I was going to say as well. If they're trained for this type of extraction, then the chances are they'll know where to tell where it's coming from. Aldrin, I really do appreciate you trying to help with this, but I definitely don't want to be putting you in a situation where you get taken away.
Again.
As Dash says, we don't trade one for one.
Slate, while watching this, was almost mid-step towards Amadriana on the comment about waiting to see if Albie comes back panicked. And having seen Slate utter those famous words of "I know a little something about that," there was half a step and half a gesture, but instead breaks stride, turns direction while all this conversation is going, and walks over beside Eldrin. And from my backpack, I want to take out a single rabbit foot, and I'm just going to cut a small section of string like that long off my big piece of string, just cut it off. And I'm going to say, Eldrin, show me your hand for a moment. And you can clearly see the string in the rabbit foot.
So raise my
gonna
hand.
I'm going to tie the rabbit foot onto the wrist, and I'm going to say, this might help you to help others, as you do. You have been a bit of a lucky charm, and I'm just going to tie it on.
Okay, so
Well,
before we get stuck
Madriana,
on...
could you
Go ahead.
get Weslyn in like a flyby?
You'd have to learn how to land. But,
Because
I think
if
I could. I
he's
think I could.
not visible and you could find a window to drop him, he might actually have the best chances to get her in the seer.
but I don't know if he'll be able to get inside the cage. That's the issue. I don't know if that's your skill set, Weslyn.
You'd be surprised what I can do. How tall are the walls?
Pretty tall. 40, 50 feet.
I could scale those in about 6 seconds.
Tell me, Weslyn, do you have a way to land softly?
I could, but I'm not invisible.
There are ways to do it, but I don't think that they will be very subtle.
Gotcha.
Slate walks over to Amadriana, particularly close, right in that, you feel like they're in your personal space. Stares almost aggressively into where her eye slits are. Sighs heavily, and then puts out a hand like this. So waiting for your hand is basically what it is, the gesture.
Should take your hand.
Slate, on touch, casts invisibility on Amadriana, thus equaling the scales and creating the plan that was just talked about, which is if Weslyn was invisible, but Amadriana would be seen flying them in. So Slate reluctantly casts invisibility, and on touch, you will suddenly become invisible, and you would know it as well because your hand could see touching mine is now invisible. I release my hand, having sent the energy and doing the thing, and then I just walk 5 or 10 feet away and sit down and watch the ocean.
He goes to walk, but Amagiana grabs him and pulls him in.
Which I did not expect because I could not see you.
Yeah. And then you'll feel that slight pressure on the side of your face as if I've gone like cheek to cheek with you. In fact, as I'm invisible, you would be able to tell it's skin cheek. It's not metal cheek. As you hear, I only did it for you. And then I release and step back. And can I tell where Weslyn is based on footprints? Like where he was?
He hasn't moved.
There's just 2 footprints in the sand where he exactly was standing.
So Amagiana reaches out to touch Weslyn's hand respectfully, like holds it there like, I'm here. Are you ready? And she says, are you ready, Weslyn?
How long do you have with that, Slate?
Roughly an hour, give or take.
More than enough time. We must go now.
Nervous blessings.
Hold on tightly. And I will put my arms around Weslyn. And like, you know, under the arms, like as if I was like carrying him like out of a fire or something, I guess. And I will slowly and as quietly as possible pull the wings out.
Before, and because I can see the footprints, I presume, because they were standing slightly separate and everyone is standing in a rough circle or whatever, having a conversation.
You can't see mine. I don't have footprints, but...
Sure. Well,
yeah.
You know, knowing what's about to happen, having cast what I cast and hearing the plan the way it was, having given Eldrin the rabbit's foot, I reconsider some of my previous, and I say to Eldrin, if you do the honors with Weslyn, and then I'm going to say to Madriana, or to the air where roughly Madriana is, if I'm going to help you with this, I might as well help you properly. And again, I'm going to put out my hand.
Surprisingly, it's already there waiting for you.
So in this instance, I'm going to give some bardic inspiration and just try and give everything I can, and it's sort of a thoughts and prayers scenario, and that's kind of what I'm going to vocalize. I wish you well, and I hope you take this person from their cage. I know too well what it's like to be interrogated and to be caged.
I am way too distracted with my rabbit's foot, and then when I hear Slate call me, I'm like, oh yeah. I look at the footprints and I'm like, okay. And I just kind of like wave my hand around. Next minute I feel Wes and I'm like, oh, yeah, rabbit foot. As I cast guidance.
A quick DM question, just from because Kean can't remember. Kean can't remember, but the seal, did that make a light and noise when someone went into it?
Yeah, smoke.
Cool. I'll just relay that to the party. Just don't forget that does make a bit of noise. So
Noise or something visual?
Visual. It's a smoke. So try to mask that if you can.
I think I've got that covered.
Weslyn, you are a wonder.
No, I am just Weslyn.
Well, Weslyn 2.0. Let's do this.
Madriana takes off with Weslyn in tow. And that's where we'll continue right now. You fly over the walls, looking down upon a military base that is incredibly active. To say there's 200, 300, or 400 people would be selling it short. This place is busy. There is a massive castle kind of keep on one side, and there's a training grounds below that. And in front of the training grounds, kind of off to the side a little bit, you do see a container or a cage, which Albie has relayed to you already. Just didn't get to that point because there was so much back and forth there, which is great. Not an attack.
Yeah.
But Albie has relayed that to you already, so you have no issue finding it in this massive area. However, given that it's so close to the training grounds, which are operational even at night, and that it's so close to also the keep, which is very operational at all times because that's where everybody lives, and there are buildings around, finding a window to drop Weslyn is going to be difficult.
I'm taking him down. So it's a case of I'm going to go like above and then essentially like float down.
Sure.
Use the air pressure to give us natural down draft as such.
You will both have advantage on this, but I do need stealth checks because you're so close to the proximity of people in this process.
The other thing is, Weslyn will probably realize she doesn't mean to be doing it onto Weslyn's armor or his clothing, but just because that's where her hands are, because she's holding him, is that kind of like I said, metronomic, like
tapping,
like this tapping. She's counting. You can see she, like when she moves, she's tapping. Okay, now we move. Tapping. Now we move. Like you can see she's planned this. She knows the route.
And it's also almost routine in a sense. This isn't your first time.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta get through the lasers.
I've seen Tenacious D. I don't think she can do that. 27 is very
She's
good.
definitely not doing any cock push-ups, I can tell you that.
27 for dexterity, 9 for dexterity stealth for Weslyn.
13 on stealth.
13 on stealth. Excellent.
Is that guidance?
Oh, guidance. Yeah. Okay. So with that, you bring Weslyn down. Weslyn has a little bit more of a bumpy landing than expected because he can't quite gauge this. Weslyn doesn't fly. But for this, he seems to be quite okay. There are a few looks for a moment just to see if there's anything, and they go back to talking about 20 feet away from this cage.
How far away from the cage?
About 20 feet.
Can I see the person inside?
Oh, sorry. How far are you from the cage? You guys are right next to the cage. Sorry, I thought you meant them. You guys are right next to the cage. Yeah, you can see the person inside. This is what she looks like. She is covered in brown feathers for the most part, with humanoid features on her face. Brown hair, brown wings. She has talon-like claws for hands, and quite familiar features if you're into birds at all.
Birds. Do I recognize her species?
I would doubt it.
I'm going to press into her mind.
I'm going to give you a history check. Just Weslyn's been around, man.
Been around, man. Seen some shit. History.
Is there any reminiscence of this young lady to my book that I've probably read several times at this point?
The 2, even with inspiration, is probably not going to cut it, John. 5. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't know. Remind me of the title of the book, if you can, Major. I'm sorry, I don't know which one you're reading.
The Winged Guardian?
No. Maybe in terms of like this seems like what they would want to talk about, but the Winged Guardian doesn't look like this in the cover art.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so yeah, okay. You want to probe her mind. How are we doing this, and what are you doing?
I have telepathy, and I will create a connection between herself and mine.
Mm-hmm. If you could just cast it in the chat, that would be ideal.
Yep.
Perfect.
Let's see. Right. There's a bonus action. And this will exist for 5 minutes. There's not much time. Please do not be alarmed. We are here to help. Are there gaps between the bars?
For sure. Yeah. She looks around and glances around, trying to see, obviously, who is doing the voice. She's not nearly unconscious or something, but she's fatigued, tired. She looks wounded. Yeah, it's not looking great for her, but she's not, like, bleeding out at the moment or anything either.
Just trying to figure out how to do this without dropping concentration. There is going to be
telepathy. Okay.
On invisibility.
Oh, you cast it on yourself. That's right. Sorry.
Yep. You can do it at will. It's amazing. I mean, in shadow, but is there a place within 30 feet No, even better. All right. Is there any other sort of objects, pile of things within 5 feet of us? Or it's just out in the open, completely exposed?
This is out in the open, pretty exposed. There isn't anything surrounding it or anything, but there's a lot of waste on the ground and produce that's been thrown at her and like things like that. Nothing that she can weaponize, but things that are painful nonetheless.
Can the objects be pushed through, the seal be pushed through the bars? Are they wide enough for that?
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm going to pass you something. It will be underneath that pile of refuse by your feet.
Who is
you
there?
are to...
I hear you.
My name is Weslyn. I am one counted among the kin. Springborn. Doesn't matter. Listen closely. If you wish to get out of this cage, we have one chance at this. I'm going to pass you a spherical object. You'll be able to feel it underneath that pile of refuse by your feet. We're going to open it. I'll do what I can to disguise your entry, and then we are going to extract you. Do you understand?
What manner of witchcraft is this?
Regrettably, this is witchcraft of the old tongue. But I see no other way of getting you out.
This better not be a trick.
I am, if nothing else, honest. But we are losing time. Going to manifest a kind of little bit of rounded refuse by her foot, using minor illusion. Doesn't require concentration, or verbal or somatic. Just a little, and slip the ball in through the bars underneath that, so it will go visible, but underneath the illusion.
And this is a plan with garbage?
Reach in as if you are rummaging for a bite to eat.
I do not appreciate this trickery.
This is not a trick. Please, there's very little time.
She, exasperated, reaches out and puts her sort of talon-like claws into the mound and finds purchase on something. She picks it up. Ah. Interesting.
I recommend opening that quickly and out of sight of watchful eyes.
What is this, poison?
No. this is your way out.
I do not think I will fit.
Believe me, you will.
She opens it and her eyes widen as suddenly smoke emerges, emanates, surrounds her, and clink, clink.
I'm gonna try and like put up a 5 foot. She's roughly 5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5 foot illusion of herself standing there still, nice and still. Kind of maybe take up some of that smoke.
How are you doing that? I don't know if can minor illusion reach that far with 5 feet?
5 feet. So
Yeah,
5 foot.
I'll allow it. All right, let's go.
It's static, doesn't move, but you know, didn't have to be moving for them to like ignore her. And then I'll scoop the orb. It goes back into its invisible state because it's a person. Then I will nudge Madriana.
Nudge Madriana. Okay. Yep.
Now, something that I've practiced many, many times, especially when I've been within the streets of Verdoir, is how to do my lift-offs without causing a disturbance around me. I've had these wings now for my whole life. I've been practicing a hell of a lot.
There's an aspect of your backstory that would incline me to agree with you that we will probably reach at some point. But yeah, exactly. I would say that you have probably gotten pretty good at that, though your flying skills, as discussed earlier in session 1 and stuff, aren't quite what they used to be. I'll still allow it, but I'll give you both. Well, yeah, I'll give you both advantage on the stealth check based on your ability. I think that's the best and fairest way to do this. We let the dice do the talking while you do the walking, or flying in this case.
Yeah.
We let the dice do the flying while you do the crying. Let's go. Stealth roll advantage from both of you, please.
So mine was a 26, but I'm also going to throw on my bardic to make sure that we get out of here as best as possible.
17 from Weslyn.
Which is only a 2, but that still takes me to a 28 total.
20 total from Weslyn because it didn't include the inspiration as well. You take off with very little blowback. It would be nothing more than a breeze to anyone who is not trained to see that. Off you go.
Once again, the metronome. I'm working my way. There's that light. Stop. Move. Stop. Move.
Okay. You fly to the group and you land. And when you do, it's sort of probably known to the group a little bit. I imagine you're not being super like hidden in this case. So Madriana, you land and you place Weslyn down as you do, so that there's no major impact.
Actually,
okay.
If I can just adjust that quickly, we land, but I carry on carrying Weslyn, and I explain this to Weslyn as we are flying back. I'm not going to land you because I don't want your footprints there. We'll tell the group, we'll all move together, but I'll keep you completely separate, just in case.
Understood.
I'll explain that to the group as we land, and we are basically shifting for as long as we can to get the fuck away from this place.
Sure. How far away do you want to go?
As long as that invisibility lasts. And then obviously while we're going, trying to find somewhere that would be considered suitable shelter where we wouldn't necessarily get seen easily.
Would I know of any rivers nearby?
Just the ocean. There's no rivers here until Palpworld.
That's what I was afraid of. And cover, like old ruins or anything.
Without triggering Kyle too much, there are only dunes. Costs trying to scream copyrighted slogans.
I'll explain that as we're going.
Why there's sand in my panties.
Oh my god. Dash, go on. What were you saying?
I'll explain that to the group as we start moving and suggest that we try, I suppose, best to get to the other side of a dune that might give us some sort of shade and cover.
Keep triggering costs.
Sure.
You climb over this sort of desert dune. It takes about 10-15 minutes to get there, to get over, and to get down. You're pretty good distance from the fort at this point, yeah.
Jumping on the back of what Dash has suggested, I'm going to suggest that we have various sheets, blankets, whatever. It's obviously nighttime, desert gets cold, but actually to use 2 posts, which could be anything from a bit of timber from a backpack, could be a staff, anything at all. If you put them on this side and wrap the edges from the far side, it just creates a blank barrier. Put it at an angle, build up the sand, and if any sand blows, it will blow over it, which means it's like a camouflage of sorts, and like it's not vertical, so it's against the horizon over the dune on the other side, so sand blows starting to cover it, so even someone who walks above it, they'd have to be on the other side of it looking this way to see anything. Think the hobbits with the wraith right above them in the tree
Leaning over the tree line.
Yeah, that kind of idea, because you can easily do that and move the sand around a bit. So it's not easily seen from above or from behind, it's only from directly in front.
Yeah.
Quick and easy to make, plenty of us, easily done.
As Slate is describing that.
All Richard.
That's what I'm saying. You and I are going to have a long conversation about how you know that. Ryan, go ahead.
As Slate starts describing this to Dash, he feels a slight bit of pressure on his forearm from Adriana as she basically is trying to work his way down his arm so he knows to open his hand. And then as she lets go, obviously it will become visible, and it's the slat.
Oh, cool.
And she just says to him, use that upside down. The word is Moonrider.
Wait. I don't think it would be a good idea to stay here at all, because when they recognize that she's gone, they're all gonna look for her. We should
cover
run.
for the moment and then book it. Absolutely, Hatsu.
I was thinking this is only a temporary shelter to make a plan while we're stationary, so we're not seen immediately. I don't recommend we stay here at all.
I mean, it's open lands. There's nothing to hide. If the sun comes up, we kinda...
Our footprints are going to be seen. Yes, absolutely.
Well, our best time to move is going to be during the night anyway. It's colder, it keeps us warm, we're out of the heat. We want this shelter for the sun during the day, and if we have to dig down and build a tunnel or something to hide in for the day, that's what the animals do. We need to walk while it's dark. There's no way we'll travel far in the heat.
Okay, then I assume the mission was a success. Do we let her out and keep moving?
No, let's wait until we stop.
Correct.
And also, Aldrin, this is where you can help us. Your little thing, try and shake the ground behind us to try and shake away the footprints. Mix up the sand with what you can do so that they can't track.
I never thought of that.
Stick.
Straight away, I start casting thaumaturgy.
You guys will grasp that staff like nothing else and start wishing our way home.
That's Dash.
I should have cut that out of the edit.
No.
My pun counter was on 19. I needed to be 20.
So, Hatsu would run ahead, and he would try to find kinda a way to get them with a little bit of cover of dunes, so he wouldn't run over the dunes, so he would lead away around, and it's harder to track them, basically.
Yeah, Dash would follow Hatsu, actually just keeping pace and following his lead, just acting as a secondary pair of eyes.
Sure.
To make life easier for Eldrin, I'm going to take from my backpack something like the bedroll or spare t-shirt, clothes, something that's not heavy, and use it like you would a tree branch just to get rid of the tracks as we go, because it spreads them and it's light, so it makes it like wind or like whatever, so it takes a print, so it doesn't matter what shape it makes or how it works. It's just about using something light, hitting the sand with it, running it back and forth to muddy the image. So just to make it easier for us not to be followed, and I'm obviously going to tell everyone that we should all walk in a straight line and try and walk each other's footprints, because again, that makes the job easier for me at the back, easier, harder to find, track our numbers, blah blah.
No problem. Absolutely.
And by the way, before I forget about it, Hudson would also look out for the tracks from the carts that came into the fort.
Sure.
So he's trying to avoid to go where they came from.
Yeah, no, they're pretty far in the other direction. You're okay. You guys went off kind of following the shoreline. They were just pretty straight from somewhere. Yeah, so how long are you guys doing this?
I think we're just going through the night.
For hours. Okay.
Yeah, for hours.
Yeah.
Keep sipping water, snacking rations.
Well, luckily, Eos has got us covered for water.
Yeah. You can cast Elementism cantrip over and over.
My suggestion would be that I don't know what time it is now, but if it was 9 earlier, I'd say it's 10:30, 11. That we go until something like 3, 3:30, maybe even as far as 4. I don't know what time the sun comes up, but it'll take us time to dig a little hole. I've got the entrenching tool, so I'm going to suggest we start, if we end up being in the middle of nowhere, that we dig a little, like a warren or a, we can support it up with our backpacks, and like I said, you etc. and all that, put sand over it, and we can hide from the sun, and we can sleep from the early morning into part of the day. So again, we're not exhausted, but we're also not in the sun. Right. So I'm just going to suggest that we stop early enough to still get some rest, or get a start on rest before the day, and also that when people, if they do come looking for us, the inn, as opposed to digging when the sun.
Yeah, you guys spent hours kind of masking your tracks and going as far away from here as possible. So you're pretty far. I would say if you move for an entire night, you're probably at a point where deep into the desert, you can see what looks like a large towering rock, and then next to it like another one. They seem to be some kind of spikes of I don't want to call them mountains, but they're like fingers of rock. I don't know.
And glaciers, I think they call them.
Yeah, that's dope name. If that's not what they call them, they should, because that's dope. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sand glaciers is good.
So yeah, we'll stop and obviously dig in, helping Slate do this thing that he said about, so that we can get some cover, get some comfort. Weslyn, first and foremost, thank you. You did that so effortlessly.
Both of you, 3 of you, Slate included, that was fantastic.
It is why we are here, is it not?
To do good when we can, yes.
I thought it was a bad idea, but amazing.
It's never a bad idea to help someone in need.
We do not know yet what their nature is. They were very resistant. I would like an opportunity to speak with them further before we release them.
Well, as does that, he's going to be holding the staff straight down the narrow between the 2 rocks and just trying to.
You're not at the rocks now. They're way away. But yeah, like you're just
sure.
Like you just see them in the distance, and you're trying to use those as a targeting reference. You straight down. Nothing. It looks pretty badass though.
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing that over and over until it eventually happens.
How do you suggest to talk to them without releasing them, Wesley?
It's difficult to explain. Give me some time to gather my thoughts on how to properly find the words that you'll understand.
That is something I can do, because that's where we're going to end our session tonight. We shall pick up from there next week. We shall be busyless next week as well, so you send me a message of anything you may want Hatsu to participate in. We shall miss you, sir. We will pick up at the same time as next week, as we did this week, probably, presumably, I imagine. And we shall continue from right at this moment. If you would like to, we have a post show. We would like you to be there. We'd love you to be there. Ask questions. To do so, you simply just put !ask in chat and followed by your question. And our host, I believe, is Keen tonight. Rory? Who's hosting tonight?
Rory.
Won't be.
Perfect.
One of them.
One of them will host. We will discuss that now.
We'll discuss it.
And we will be back now in just a few moments. We're going to take a 5-minute break quickly, and then we'll jump back in the post show. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for being here today. For the sub bombs and everything, all sorts of stuff. We appreciate you as well, because that was nuts to watch. It is very hard to maintain composure sometimes because we have so much overwhelming support. Thank you so much for everything. We love you. We appreciate you. That was our highest. Yeah, that was a hype train record. That's right. It was level 10. Yeah, that was dope. Thank
10
you.
and 30% or something.
Crazy.
Yeah. Hit the follow button while you're here.
Hit that follow button. Hit it so hard you
We
break
see
your
you,
mouse.
we see you. We see you.
Right, you better press go before Richard murders you, Roper.
Oh.
He-
Give it back.